Though, I don't know. Let's see how I sound in the sound waves. I think I sound normal. Sound
What-
normal.
What is even normal?
Alright, before we go anywhere, I'm going to warn everybody. I might cough a little. I'm a little wheezy today. I don't have the corona. That would be ludicrous. We've been doing this thing's been what, 3-4 weeks? Something like that? I haven't gone anywhere.
I should have actually bought me some of the Corona beer and feel like I have the Corona.
Just cuz.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've taken some stuff, but I have thoroughly dedusted most of my room and got it vacuumed and stuff, so hopefully my breathing's a bit better. But yes, I'm a little short of breath today. Luckily, Lucky is probably going to yell about Sekiro a lot and maybe talk about anime.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, where do you want to go first? We got a couple different things we could talk about. Well, actually, hold on. We're a few minutes in. Let me do the patron bit first. Well, we're not a few minutes. We're about a minute in. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Fuck.
Hold on. Let me take a sip of water first. Lube up the tubes. Hey, this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Agio Comics, Blacklist OG, Kwa, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Den, Nestor Flores, Rogue Robin, Soda-san, 042 Fair, Shawnee P, and Video Gamer 75. I may have flipped some of those in the alphabetical order. Anyway, if you want to support us, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you. For once, I did not spray that all over me.
There it was. I coughed once.
Oh,
I might also just need to drink more water.
I don't know. I haven't had any dry coughing. I've had a lot of wet coughing, though. You know, had to huck a lot of lugas.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's super hot, but sometimes it's cool in the evening, so we're still occasionally opening the windows, which is probably... It's apparently a really bad allergy season for lots of people, so it's probably just agitating my respiratory. Because I felt like I have felt similarly to as I feel right now several times throughout the past couple of weeks. Again, when it was continuing to be absolutely ludicrous that I've caught the plague. But I probably do just need to drink more water. It's hot today.
Hydrate.
Always remember to hydrate, everybody. Okay.
God damn it. You wouldn't even give it to me at the end. Alright, well, whatever. This ain't Let's Talk FBO, but, fucking Avicii Braun's, fucking smile? Question mark? Protected. Fucking mask, bro. Someone just needs to take a Sharpie and just go, right over there.
I wonder if I want to retweet this.
Retweet what?
I posted an art dump. Who did it? It was Vesper, of course.
Of course it was Vesper.
Of course it was. Vesper, are you here? You're not even here. What are you doing? I think I will retweet it. It's funny. I am amused.
Hang on. I see it. I'm gonna read it.
It's dumb.
It's dumb funny. So I'm gonna retweet it.
Alright. But yeah, we have a couple different places we could start first, because stuff is happening. In real life, it does in fact continue to happen.
Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know. Like, I could start on my hate fucking of Sekiro, I guess.
I mean, if you're okay to just jump right into it, we can jump right into it. I'm pretty sure this episode will be called Lucky Yells at Sekiro. Game of the Year, Sekiro.
Yeah, I'm pushing exit out on that now. So thanks to a lovely, lovely listener who wanted me to play Sekiro, maybe even stream it, I recently got Sekiro, and I did stream it. Don't let the fucking archive tell you I didn't, just because it fucking randomly fucking vanished again.
What? I was just thinking about that. Oh, it's because of the thing with servers and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that because we obviously work in the technicals.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that, hey, there's not just... You can't just magically slap shit with a wrench and fix it.
Yeah.
Sometimes stuff's weird. The streaming is one of those, because I believe you said, quote-unquote, you hadn't changed anything, and yet sometimes your stream archivos, and sometimes it does not-o.
Yes. But, so, I did stream. I streamed from the beginning, and like, let me just lay this as, I am definitely not someone who has gotten good. Like, I will never say that about myself. Like, I play Neo, I play Code Vein, I beat both those games, but even though I've gone on to harder difficulties, I haven't, what's the word I want to say? Like, double down on it and go, like, 3 to 5 new game pluses, excuse me, on them. because as I like to say, I'm a filthy casual, and that's how I play my games accordingly. But Sekiro, it got Game of the Year. That must means that it's doing something right. And so when a valued listener was like, "Hey, if I give you the money, will you just play Sekiro?" I was all like, "Sure, why not? Fuck yeah, I'll do it." And I did. So I played only like 4 hours that one stream. I was planning on streaming longer, but I was getting a little bit stressed. That's unfortunately one of the things about these games. Omega, I think you said this about Bloodborne, actually.
Yeah, I like Bloodborne, both aesthetically and honestly, the gameplay's pretty alright from what I remember. It's been a while since I played, but it's very tense. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of constant danger, and especially the way I don't know about Sekiro, but the way Bloodborne is set up, there's a lot of aggression baked into the game. It wants you to keep attacking so you can recover HP and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like, oh shit, back and forth that makes it very difficult for me to play for long periods of time. It's like my same problem with Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation, super cool game, very on point. Puts me way too close to a heart attack playing it more than like 30 minutes at a time. That's why if we wanted to get to it like on a stream or something, we would, or on a channel thing, we would have to like be on a couch and able to go, okay, you hold this for a second. I'm gonna go, lay on the floor and practice my deep breathing exercises.
So, hang on, let me close Twitter before that distracts me way too much, because it fucking will. But, so I started playing it, and now, I'm not saying Sekiro is a bad game. I'm not. It's still a pretty fun and good game. But the thing is I'm noting some glaring technical difficulties, and I'm just like, why are people just kind of glossing over these points?
It's fair. I admit I never heard anybody really, really deeply talk about anything technical with the game.
Yeah.
There was a lot of... Sekiro was kind of the start of the accessibility hullabaloo, which we talked about in an episode before, so we won't go back into it. But I don't think anybody ever phrased it as, oh, well, also maybe the game's not a clean running.
Yeah. No, because, here's the thing. I don't want the game easier. I don't. Fights are hard and fights are annoying, but that's the formula, What's been bugging me is how they're trying to sell the game and then what the game actually has you do. So, I should have actually wrote these down, but let me start with this first point, okay? First off, you're supposed to be this fucking master shinobi, master ninja, who's lost his memory and, his ability and whatnot. So you're supposed to be, go around sneaky, stealthing, and, being all sorts of, I'm gonna get you from the fucking shadows, right? That's what you accept, right? Except for some odd reason, this game constantly wants you to stick you in the middle of open fucking fields with a bunch of dudes just standing around in a circle doing I don't know what. And you have to fucking either just avoid them all, and you just ignore all that, whatever potential loot, key items, whatnots, or right in there and just literally start a melee free-for-all. Oh, excuse me. Now, there are stealth mechanics. There are. They have tall grass for you to fucking hide in. Heaven for help you if you don't have tall grass. And enemy AI is varied. You can literally, I've done this before, you can actually sprint up behind someone, and get a backstab attack on them. I do this a lot when there's more than one guy, and I don't have a convenient ledge. It's literally dash in, and before you can react, just stab in the back and go into normal combat from that. But you also have things, like around the corner takedowns, ledge takedowns, jumping takedowns, and a whole bunch of other technical things. And it's fine. The weird thing is for some odd fucking reason, whenever I try to use these takedowns, just as often as not, I don't do the takedown and I just do a normal attack. This happens most frequently with jumping takedowns.
I have watched several people play the front of the game because it was, a big deal when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So the starting segment is, like many tutorials, even though it's not formally a tutorial, super scripted, because there's tall grass, sneaking under floors. There's at least one rooftop kill that you do. So, in your experience playing the real game, that's not as smooth and sneakeman as the intro makes it seem.
No, because the way that these I haven't done an actual ledge hanging ledge takedown. I have done a hanging takedown before, but they're super rare because very rarely do guys hang out near ledges for any extended period of time. But the way that jumping takedowns is you be on some point of elevation. As long as they don't see you, you can jump. Your reticule, if you're locked onto them, will flash red. You push the attack button once, and you go into the animation. I have had frequently, and I mean this frequently, had that happen, had no red circle pop up. I've just had Sekiro just swing his sword and then just land next to them. And then the guy's just like, The guy goes, and then all of a sudden I have like 9 to 10 yellow circles, like half the map, not circles, triangles, half the map around me just light up. And I'm just all like, okay. Other times, this is the one that got my goat a lot, especially when I was at the Hirata estate about to fight fucking, was it Jizo the Drunk? Is I'll be on a roof waiting for some hapless fool to wander on me so I can stabs him. When the archer, like, that I can barely fucking see will just instantly see me and start shooting me and alert everyone around him. Like, I guess I can say, maybe he's a ranged Jesus, so he's used to seeing far away, but the game specifically says is, their bars are supposed to fill up. It's supposed to start at, nothing to yellow. Yellow's when they're searching. Then yellow is supposed to fill up to red, and then that's when they have found you and attacking you. This dude just instantly goes straight into attack. I'm just like, you just gave me the rule, and then you just absolutely fucking broke it. Oh, man. Well, yeah, so that's, and, as I said, and, for example, even if you get, I guess I can forgive this one, but I still find it interesting. Usually when, in games normally do, when you get a stealth kill and you do it properly, you usually don't alert the enemies around you, right?
Yes.
This one does not. If I walk up behind somebody and I kill him, no matter how stealthy it is, the person that's walking, a few meters ahead will always, go a yellow and then turn around and see me and I'm into combat. I can always only get one stealth kill out before I have to either go into, as I said, full open combat, or my usual preferred tactic is just to run the fuck away, jump over 3 walls, and then just wait till they fucking calm the fuck down.
Yes, I was just about to ask. So, obviously, this being a Soulsborne type game, if you rest at a spooky spirit idol or whatever...
Yeah, they all reset.
But if you just fuck off into some bushes, they eventually go back to normal, even though that doesn't make any goddamn sense, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing. You just can't fuck up in some worlds, because I've known this man. Enemies will just know where the fuck you are, even if you break line of sight. I seen this with archers and with melee units, because usually melee units will have something they can throw at you, usually pots of oil, rocks. But I have literally seen archers. I've actually tracked this. I would be on one side of the wall and just move and watch the shots. It would just follow me along the wall. They just knew where the fuck I was. And same with so that's why I say I have to put 3 walls between us. So as I said, the combat AI is weird, the stealth AI is weird, the mechanics are fucking weird.
Yeah, it basically to me it sounds kind of like, and Axe actually said this kind of in chat, that you can't play the game fully. The stealth is kind of a flavor thing, just like having a gun is a flavor thing in Bloodborne, and whatever. Yeah. Magic and stuff, I guess, is a flavor thing in Dark Souls. It's a cool thing that puts you in the thematic area of being a fucking shinobi ninja. Ronin dude, but
you're not actually.
You're actually supposed to just smack people. Yes, I said that. I literally said that, Axe. Open your ears. It's the point is to make you feel like you're in the setting, but the core gameplay is, still about hack and stabbing dudes. Not necessarily stealthy stabbing them, actually getting into fucking Soulsborne fights.
Yeah. So I will say, when you actually get in there with stabbing, it's really fucking fun. Sekiro is totally based around a posture and deflecting system. Basically, you have your guard and then you have your leg, and the deflect window is actually very, what I want to say, lenient. It's not that hard to do deflections, unlike in previous games.
Yeah, that's another thing, is definitely that I've heard that it is supposed to be that way. They have clearly be that's where all the gameplay feature is, and they want you to get in there and do posture shenanigans and fucking do your dodges and blocks and deflects and stuff.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing, you can literally deflect like 5 or 6 like blows from one character. You'll get a couple off on them. They'll deflect them, swing back, and you're just going back and forth with all these attacks as you're trying to do enough posture or health damage just to get the death blow on them. And I said it's really fun. Like I said, one of the bosses I'm stuck on right now is named Lady Butterfly, and she's a fucking bitch. She's a bitch for not the reason you would think of. Like, combat-wise, I actually have it a fucking blast. I thought it was great. It was everything I kind of wanted. The fact it was action, high-paced, there was variety in moves, and stuff. The problem I had with Lady Butterfly, though, is when I fought her, and I finally beat her, she only had one, break bar, which I want to call it, because...
Also, I'm wondering, shouldn't that be Madam Butterfly?
I don't know.
That's an actual thing that's vaguely Japanese related.
Yeah. But
anyway.
So she I call them break bars because that's basically what they are to me. Basically enemies can have multiple health bars, and every time you get a death blow on them or whittle them down to health, they go to 0 with it. And then for every dot they have, they get another health bar. Usually, you have to. Well, I do because I'm definitely not good. I have to cheese one of the bars by getting a stealth attack or a sneak attack,
which is probably intentional. If they've got a couple, that's the reason why they have a couple of extra bars, so that you can sneak kill them, but also they could still do sweet boss fights.
Well, you see, here's the problem. A lot of these guys usually have a bunch of ads around them.
Now that I believe is not typical for a lot of Soulsborne games, from what I remember.
Yeah, no. So basically, you have to, speaking of Gyuzo the Drunk, the reason why I was getting mad at Gyuzo the Drunk is because he had so many ads, and if I wanted to fight Gyuzo, who is this big, meaty dude with a fucking giant sword who can spray poison, I had to clear all the ads. Mm-hmm. Now, since he's in the area, he's only a mini-boss, so he doesn't, lock down the arena, but he was definitely blocking my path from going forward.
Right, he's a meat wall.
Yeah. So I would have to spend a half hour, clearing out the ads just so I can get them alone. And if I fuck up during that half hour, I have to go back and reset because it's Soulsborne. You only have limited resources to accomplish the thing before you have to go reset. You can only use
your magic gourd so many times.
Yeah. So I eventually got it because this is the tried and true Soulsborne formula. You literally beat your head against the wall until you find the solution that works.
Oh boy, do you! Fuck, I think in Team 4 Star's Drunk Souls 3 stream, there had to be at least a dozen drinks on the first boss, the starter boss. Which, by the way, their rule is drink every time you die. So it was there's these games. When we talked about this one, talking about accessibility and stuff, these games are true trial and error.
Yeah, and as I said, so I'm not so upset about that. It's just the fact that my trial and error will usually get messed up by, as I said, random ass archers spotting me and just firing off on me. Mobs just suddenly being like, hey, it's he's over there. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of most of the couple of Bloodborne bosses I got to were giant freak monsters that like to jump around and be scary. Most of the bosses I remember seeing from Dark Souls are like that. There's usually a couple of bosses that are there's one boss in Dark Souls 3, the Farron Watchers, which is just the boss is just a bunch of dudes, and then once you've killed all the dudes but one, he goes Super Saiyan or whatever. But that was the gimmick of that fight. I think there's another one that's the Abyssal Preacher that is a bunch of zombie clerics try to beat you up too. But again, that's usually a rare gimmick. So you're saying you're running into this particular issue a lot with Sekiro.
Yeah, there are optional mini bosses and stuff, but here's the thing: those optional mini bosses usually have the item that lets you upgrade your shit or gives you more health. Naturally. Which I'm like, God, I need more health.
Ah, yes, the true problem of all Soulsborne players. I just need one more Estus flask. I just need a little bit more health. Fuck, I just need a little bit more stamina. And that's honestly, that's how the game gets you. The game makes you feel like you're always just that close to beating it, whether that's you need to go level up or you need to just try that boss one more time, you know?
Well, see, here's the interesting thing about Sekiro. Sekiro doesn't actually have a leveling up system, per se.
No, it's more arcadey almost, isn't it? It's not true RPG.
Yeah, no, it's definitely more arcadey. You do get, you do get upgrades, but they're not like they're not like spread over things. You have your vitality and posture, you have your attack damage, and then you have a bunch of skills. Basically, as you kill an enemy and get that experience, your experience goes into your skills. To increase your attack power, you have to get memories. And memories you get are from beating big bosses. So here's one of the things I had a problem with. No matter what, until you start beating other bosses, you will always be at the same attack power and never be able to get any stronger at that. There is no...
That's not great.
No. Like, as I said, this is what I'm talking about.
That was... what game was it that I talked about that? Was that... I think it was... that was the thing, at least I said. I don't remember if you said it too, about Fallen Order. Remember that? Where it's like, you don't really go up in lightsaber damage very much. Yeah. Which means when enemies get tougher, you, like, are forced to just slap them with your Globat more, because it's like a top-level talent tree. Actually, it's a good question. So the progression is more like Fallen Order, where you just get a skill point every once in a while.
Yeah, it is like that. And it's nice, you get several different trees, but like none of them are just like straight attack damage. They're usually like nice little technical abilities, or you get some passive. Like, one of the first two skills I was able to get was something that increased my stealth. It helps, kinda. And then, you can get like special combat moves, you can learn new counters and all that stuff. It's all nifty things, but...
You can learn how to pull a guy towards you and stab him in his chest, and you can learn how to throw your katana at a guy. Wait.
Well, maybe, I don't know. As I said, so you can increase your attack, but you basically have to get over whatever, you basically have to get through the gate of the boss. You say, no, you have to beat it at this level before we give you more attack. Which basically means that whatever bosses lay beyond it are just going to be prepared for you having that attack.
I wonder if they developed that as part of kind of I'd almost say an anti-grinding measure, because that is a thing about Dark Soul, the traditional Dark Souls and Bloodborne games. You have diminishing returns, obviously, but theoretically, if you don't mind slowly sacrificing your soul, as we like to say it, you can usually just punch whoever's around for souls over and over again to get more souls that you can spend on more level ups. And again, diminishing returns, but that's still a way that you can be like, oh man, can I just brute force this boss by getting those extra couple of damage layers? And so it sounds like Sekiro is designed to be like, no, dude, you have to learn how to beat him at your current level before you can progress.
Yeah, as I said, I can see that, but also I feel like that like if there was, that's removed player agency, and I don't like that.
It's possible. Because as I said, and it could just be that's a stylistic thing.
Yeah, like I don't know. But as I said, you have to collect basically 4 beads, which you can find in treasure chests, or they drop from mini bosses usually, to get your vitality up. You have to defeat big bosses to get memories, which increase your attack. You just defeat regular enemies to get skill points, which increase your skill. And then you can buy, they all drop money, so you can buy stuff.
Yes, it definitely sounds like, not that I've heard it phrased this way, but it definitely sounds like more of an action-adventure style setup. Like, saying you have to pick up 4 beads, I'm like, so heart pieces? Like,
pretty much.
It's modeled very much on the similar engine to other Soulsborne games, but even non-FromSoft, like the aforementioned Code Vein and stuff, those are all very much RPG-oriented in the, okay, level up all your shit, get your things, do your stuff. And this seems a little bit more like almost like a curated experience.
Yeah. So, let's see. The resurrection, I have a big gripe with the resurrection mechanic.
You don't like dying twice? The titular die twice?
No, I don't like the fact that that if I die too much, it has real world consequences.
Oh, you mean the fact that the game has a pseudo punishment system?
Yeah. Basically, it has this thing called Dragon Rot. Basically, the way to explain it is the way your power works is it draws upon the lives of those around you to bring you back to life, and that makes them sick. Now, from what I understand of that, there's 2 things that happen. When they get sick, you get something called the Rot Essence, which decreases your something called Unseen Aid. Unseen Aid is basically a chance for when you die for you to not lose your skill points and money. Well, not skill points necessarily. You basically get whatever skill points you have towards your next skill point gets halved, and your money gets halved. You can get something called Unseen Aim, which will just proc randomly that it says, nah, you don't lose it. And you're like, sweet, thanks gods. Rot Essence puts a a penalty on that. The other thing, though, is that if any of the characters who have caught this sickness have any storylines or quests or progressions, they just stop flat. They just stop. You're locked out of them. Now, so here's the thing. The way that the Dragon Rock goes forward is you die. That's it. You die and an invisible meter fills up. You die too much, people you have come in contact with gets the rod and you're locked out of the things. Now, there are items that will cure it. It's called, like, what was it? Like the Dragon Crystal Drop, Dragon Blood Drop, some shiny thing. Basically, you use it as one of the spooky statue things and it heals everybody. The thing is, they're limited. So you have to choose carefully when to use them. As someone this is my first fucking time playing this game and have not looked in a guide for any suggestions of what to fucking do, I have no idea when the fucking best time to use it, and I don't know how many times of these I'm gonna get.
Yeah. So on the one hand, good on them. They gave you an item that reverses the thing. Because, you understand you have to get good. You do not start good. No. On the other hand, yes, I agree. I don't really like the idea of a punishment mechanic, and it's one of the reasons why I wasn't super interested in Sekiro, because I'm like, yeah, I don't really... It's like, I think that was the original Demon Souls had, like, soul tendency or whatever, where if you, like, fucked up and died a lot, the world got darker and harder. I'm just like, no, that's dumb. Stop it. Stop that. Like, I just want to take whoever thought of this idea, I just want to take a ruler and just crack them across the knuckles. No, quit it. Don't punish people for losing. Yeah. I understand they want to motivate you to be like, and even since you said, you kind of like, they want to motivate you to like avoid trivial fights probably and like actually focus on getting good and avoiding stuff. It's just like, don't do that. It's bad. Like, I understand what they're going for. Ooh, your infinite revives come at a terrible cost. But there should be a certain, while there's gameplay and story integration is cool, there should still be a certain amount of separation between those two things. Just because, hey, what if you suck?
Yeah, because, like I said, I'm definitely not saying we need to make the game more accessible, but I feel like, how did I want to put this? Oh yeah, like half my problems with this is the game being half-assed, and the other half is the actual game being fucking hard, or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Oh, excuse me.
That's okay. I've coughed a couple of times. You can yawn.
Well, see, like, here's the thing, Penguin and Axe. For one, I don't want to use guide because, as I said, one, I don't like spoilers, and two, I think all problems should be able to be solved by someone of average intellect and wit. Like,
right, like, if the game can only be solved with a guide, that's a bad game. It's the guides and stuff is like when brute forcing is a pain in the butt. Like, if you want to solve, no, it totally applies. The game is wrong if you can't figure that shit out, and if they're like, oh, and also, like I said, I don't know. I believe games are entertainment, and there are some people who are just masochists, and you need to just own up to it. Thanks, please. Don't try to pass it off like you're more hardcore than me. You enjoy suffering. Just admit it about yourself. It's okay. Well, we haven't brought up the fact that it won Game of the Year, except maybe at the beginning. And for the studio that made it, and for a lot of the people who enjoy these types of games, I'm sure it's a really good experience because they changed up their own formula. Yeah. But Lucky hasn't played those other games much, right?
No.
So
I played Demon Souls a bit. Way back.
Same. And guess what? Demon Souls is kind of awful. It's really fucking hard. But as I was saying, like, if you cannot solve things internally diegetically, and whether that's they just tell you or whether they actually learn you through gameplay, like, this isn't like a weird fucking Aaron Hansen thing. I'm okay with you, like, literally listing, like, hey, here's what your fucking controls do. Here we're going to very pointedly point out how you do a thing. Hey, if you sit in bushes, you're stealthier. Like, I'm okay with the game literally pointing stuff out to you. And admittedly, back in the day when there were game manuals, this was, there was usually a reference material, and you could at least say that, well, I mean, it's the manual, it came with the game. They put the stuff right there for you to read. But they don't do that anymore.
I did have to look at how to sprint, though, but I looked that up by going into the options and looking at the controllers. I was like, oh, I can sprint. Awesome. Great. I can now run away better. Doing that a lot.
But, like, if it's just, like, anxiety-inducing, I don't know. Like, maybe they want you to, like, because there's multiple endings, they want you to, like, learn over time and be committed to stuff. But also, for games like this, that's kind of a pain in the dick. I don't know. I understand we're in a time where everybody's trying to like maximize hours and whatever and more stuff. Maximize your value, but just the idea of almost demanding multiple runs so that you could like get good and know exactly how you can solve it, and so that next time you can do better. Just like, okay, but you're fucking Sekiro though. Do I have that kind of time in my life? Which I personally don't. Especially because I did actually, member of the community very nicely linked me to a sale on P5R's launch edition physical, which I have pre-ordered. And even though Amazon warned me it might be delayed, so far it's not delayed, so I don't know if I'll start playing it right away, but I got that one locked in. Anyway, so I'll say this. Like, when I play Legend of Zelda, yeah, I look up the solution to sliding block puzzles, but that's because sliding block puzzles are a pain in the butt.
We haven't got control because we have PS4s, and we're not sure how well optimized it is on the PS4 yet, Axe.
Yes, actually. What are you playing it on, Axe? Playing it on PS4? Are you have a vanilla PS4? Because if you... Okay, but not a Pro is basically what we're saying. You don't have a PS4 Pro.
Slim one. He does have a Pro.
Oh, the Pro is slim?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's not Pro? PS4 Slim.
Anyway, we have both heard that Control runs like dog shit on vanilla PS4s, not Pro. So as much as I so want to play that game because it's supposed to be really, really good and it sounds like it's up my alley and I've always thought it was cool, I don't want a shitty experience. So
yeah, same reason.
So they might have fixed it. You got the thing. Let me know.
Be great.
Well, it's not a waste. You never know. It might work out. That's the thing. I don't actually know. Nobody's been talking about it for a while. So you can let us know if it still runs good.
Let's see here. Oh, but back on Sekiro, it's like not all bad. Like I said, like actually, combat, it's real fun. I like it, even if I die constantly. I was like, damn it, Lucky, be better. Some boss fights are really cool. And set pieces. As people will heard me screaming earlier yesterday in general. Like there's a battle on this dude. It was just a big dude on a horse and he had a giant spear, but it was cool. I was like, he's running around and I have to like grapple him when he's like making a hard turn, and I can like stun him a little bit, get in there, cut. I can throw down firecrackers to spook his horse, cut him up even more. Like I hit him with a big heavy axe. It was fun. And then he do like all these mounted combat spear moves. I'm like, oh my god! As I'm like trying to like deflect him as like this guy's making craters with him. I'm just like, how am I?
Did anybody pole vault with a horse?
No, he did not. And then like following right after that is a great set piece of Omega. Have you heard of the giant white snake in Sekiro?
I think I've heard the name mentioned, but also that could just be from yesterday. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, basically, like almost what was it before it? I can't remember now. But around that time, there's the set piece where you go into a ravine, and as you move on, you just the whole ravine just kind of rumbles. You're just like, what the fuck was that? Earthquake? You go further down, and you just see a giant snake, with eyes bigger than your head, just moving around, being hissing, doing snake shit, and you have to sneak through, otherwise it will just end your fucking shit. So you basically have to move quickly, jump, and a couple times it sees you, and you have to run through caves and shit as it's running but crashing behind you. And then at the end, you fucking sneak into a pal again, and you just see it get closer and closer. It's closer. His eyes tries to peek into it, and then the red circle is like, oh, I'm gonna stab it. Then you stab the eye. And I don't know if it chased you at that point, because I ran like a bitch. I ran as far as I could, as fast as I could, in the direction I hope was right. And thankfully it was right. And it was the good kind of stress. You know what I'm saying? It was high tension, high stakes.
Right. It put you in the moment, which was the point.
Yeah. Another fun fight I had was something that was called the Blazing Bull. It is literally a bull, and they strapped a fucking log on fire onto its head and let it go. And I'm just like, this is a horrible idea. Why would anyone do this? And then because it kills people real good, that's why. It took me several fights to actually beat that thing, but I found out that you can actually run in circles around it. It's hard to explain, but basically, because all of its attacks are, if you get so far away from it, or you get to the side of it, it tries to do a charge attack. So I basically had to keep running to the side of it, so it would keep doing its charge attack and slow down for a second. But Yeah, that took like a while, and that was fun when I finally beat it. It was just like, and as I said, Lady Butterfly is high speed technical, high speed low drag fight, fast fighting, very technical. The problem I had with fucking Lady Butterfly is we're talking about the break bars. She only has one. When I beat her, the body I just beat just vanishes into the mist. She's all like, ha 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 ha, it was an illusion. I'm like, why the fuck did you do this to me? Why the fuck did you do this to me? I literally used all my resources just on the first one. So it's just like, ugh. So it's like I said, like, I don't think Sekiro's a bad game. It just has glaring technical difficulties that I feel like no one's really been wanting to address openly at least when I saw it come out. Everyone's just all like, yeah, Ninja Dark Souls, cool. And I'm just all like...
Well, it is true. Most of the people who like Dark Souls they like suffering, so I don't know if they actually would notice even, some of them.
Maybe.
Because that's also always the thing, is like, you have to be like, am I bad or is the game bad? You've come to the conclusion, like, working on stuff, that parts of the game are not necessarily what they said they would.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, as I said, I'm still playing it. I just have to play it in chunks. Like, right now, ever since I beat the bull, like, I've had all these areas open up, and I can just go, like, in true Dark Souls fashion, there's just a bunch of places to go, and I have no idea where the fuck I'm going. So I'm just gonna wander that way. Nope, a ninja man just literally came flying out of the sky like a cannonball. That was not the thing to do. I'm going to literally jump off this, like, 20-story roof. Nope! Go the other way. Oh, wait, here's a fucking, like, dungeon filled with zombies. And they just grab me and bite me as they climb on top of me. That is creepy as fuck. I'm not gonna go this way. Oh, look, here's a moat with a secret passage. No, this is a dead end. This is what Lucky's doing in Sekiro right now. But, as I said, I'm gonna keep playing.
Well, it does seem like they did do some improvements. Like, as you mentioned, mini-bosses don't lock you into an arena.
Nope.
Apparently, the game pauses when you open the menu. That's not typical for Dark Souls.
Yes, it does. It's great.
And the deflection is obviously is greatly improved over those games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It does seem kind of, you know,
I might be in the minority.
Good. I was just gonna say the point was what I said earlier.
Yeah, I might be in the minority with this because, as I said, like blood, fuck, what do we call it? Soulsborne, thank you. Soulsborne games aren't necessarily my cup of tea. Like, they're not. Like, Neo I like because it's won by Team Ninja, who I have great love for, and it's Sengoku era, which I also have great love for. And as I said, it's not so difficult. As I said, they let you fucking, farm, grind up things until you, like, can either brute force it or you find some others. Code Vein, they gave you an ally that usually could kick the ball, whatever's ass for you, whatever bosses you have ass for you, if you let it, usually. So they had a nice hand-holding system. This, I can say, is my first real attempt into an actual Souls, like a From Software Soulsborne game since Bloodborne. And I didn't, like, shoot, how many I think I beat maybe, like, 2 bosses. In Bloodborne. Maybe. I didn't get very far in it. And as I said, anything before that was Demon Souls, which was FromSoft's first Soulsborne game. No one wants to talk about.
Because it was old and kind of clunky.
Yeah.
It was not the breakout hit that Dark Souls was, even though they're basically the same.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I haven't really played Dark Souls, but I have played Demon Souls, and I might still have a copy, because our buddy Ron really liked Demon Souls. So much that he bought me a second copy of the game, even though I sold my original copy back because I didn't like the game that much. But yeah, it's...
So I can definitely say it's like I said this at the beginning, I am definitely not get good. Like, I am not that person. But I can look at it, to see the difference between what is my fault in failing and what is on the game's fault for failing. And as I said, it seems about equal, and I'm just all like, again, this is one of the things that's all like, it's not a bad game, but I'm like wondering why like this actually got Game of the Year with some of the glaring flaws it has. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's it for my hate fucking of Sekiro.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna guess that it was probably because the people who like Sekiro really like it and have heard of it, and the people who I don't even remember what was in the list of options, but the people who were going for other stuff were just not as numerous.
Well, let's see. I think it was Death Stranding.
Obviously,
Control.
Dark Souls has, as a franchise, and FromSoft has built up a lot of.
Let's see. What was the nominees?
Has built up a lot of following.
The nominees for the Game of the Year was Control, Death Stranding, Sekiro, Resident Evil 2, Super Smash, and The Outer Worlds. I mean, I guess out of that, I would have picked Death Stranding, but that's because I'm weird. I honestly fucking... Well, Death Stranding also...
So, I was just scrolling over, like, TV tropes to familiarize myself. Apparently, it is regarded that Sekiro is even harder than Dark Souls and Bloodborne in a direct combat sense.
Oh, really?
Because you're worse at dodging, you don't have as many healing items, you can't really do armor or shield and stuff. It's just you fighting, you know?
Yeah.
Supposedly to encourage creative solutions. I don't really know what those are.
What do you mean creative solutions?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you supposed to, like, set shit on fire?
I don't know. Throw people off...
Well, okay, I guess what they mean by creative solutions is you have a thing called the Shinobi Prosthetic, which basically gives you an ability that you can, what's the word? Dude, like, you can. That's how you load up Shuriken, that's how you have the Firecracker.
That's also where your grappling hook is, which is infinite use, which is way better at environmental navigation than most Soulsborne games.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. In order... Like, I guarantee you try to use that in combat in the specific situation where it is, if you try to use whatever that is in combat outside of the specific situation that it is needed, you will get fucking ganked. Like, the axe. As much as I love the fucking axe, I rarely use it in just regular combat, because a regular dude with a sword in the time that I load up the attack, because it's a heavy attack, so it has a wind-up period, will just do a flurry of blows and take me down to half health and, like, interrupt. Well, it doesn't interrupt, but will still fucking, like, end my half my day right there.
Yeah,
there's a fucking yeah. Like I said, so like no, I call absolute BS on that. The only one that seems very good for general use really is either the Shuriken, which is great for taking out animals or hitting flying enemies, or the Firecracker, which you just throw down and it temporarily stuns your enemies. Now, I have to do a qualifier. I do know there's upgrades. I just unlocked it. I got the mechanical barrel. And so I know that there are things that they can do later. But at the moment right now, there's like with the way that the game is, because the way that they do the fucking old school Castlevania thing of you get like fucking these spirit talisman things, and basically anytime you use the tool, you use up talismans. You start with 15. I got the first upgrade so I can get more. It upgraded me to 16. And I was like,
oh no.
I'm like, this is bullshit.
That's not really that helpful.
No.
Yeah, I said, I just read like a TV trope summary, which is like, it's admitted to be harder, presumably by design. And I'm like, I don't actually know what they mean by that.
Yeah. Like, and here's the thing that kills me. Like, uses for the tools, depending on the work, can be 1, 2, or 3. So that one upgrade doesn't even give me an extra use of anything. So I'm just like, well, it gives me, of some of like the bigger things, doesn't give me an extra use at all. So I'm just like,
right,
why?
It doesn't actually round up. Oh, yeah, you can definitely upgrade your stuff with that guy, but
yeah,
a lot of upgrades, a lot of trees.
Yeah, so
that's the point, though, Axe. It's hard. It's Soulsborne. Die much, die more, die until you stop dying.
Like I said, like honestly, I think most of my irritation would be away if it didn't have the raw mechanic in it. Mm-hmm. The raw essence thing in it, the dragon.
That's
raw.
Not a meme though. That's really one of the game editions is literally called "Prepare to Die." Is that the big bundle for Dark Souls 3? I think it is.
I think so.
Like there's a reason why Dark Souls became, you died became a meme, was because it happens a lot, and thus people have to make jokes to cope with their crippling suffering. So how many evil chickens have you fought, Lucky?
Oh my god! I found a room of evil chickens, and I was so angry. Like, the first time I fought an evil chicken, I was just all like, why is it so angry at me? And then, I found him, and then, like, you do this thing where you go into a distant memory, and fucking, there's just, like, 5 or 6 chickens in here, and I'm just like, no! Of all the enemies they could have, they have fucking tiny demons, big demons. They have...
The Japanese are, for some reason, obsessed with giant chickens. Hey, guess what? This year in FGO Summer, we're gonna fight giant chicken mobs. Giant berserker chickens.
Yeah, and be some big cock.
No, they're just chickens.
Oh, they're just chickens?
No, they're not cockatrices. They're literally just giant roosters.
It's gonna be funny. I mean, I like chickens. I've met some
I
very
like
friendly chickens.
eating chicken.
I mean,
Also, I gotta be honest. Chickens being landfowl are probably okay. Like, here's the thing: most birds are pretty chill if you feed them some seeds and some dirt. You know, I've had bird feeders before. I know that pigeons or whatever are suckers. It's corvids you need to watch out for. Those guys are fuckers.
Well, corvids are also smarter, so you can feed them, and then they bring you shiny shit.
Yes, but also they're, secretly plotting to take over the world. I don't actually know much about raptors. I think you can train them, so they're probably pretty alright. Just, they're pointy bits.
They're pointy, they have sharp talons, and they fuck you up. They'll steal your dog.
Some of them were large enough to eat small children.
Oof.
That was a discussion we had in Star Wars, I think, talking about, what was it, Haast's eagles?
Yeah.
Which, they're now extinct, thankfully, but they were a species of giant eagle native to New Zealand, which were large enough to eat moa, which were prototype emus and cassowaries. So, it's big. It's fucking big. That's people were, it was reckoned that they were large enough to eat small human children. Which is saying something, because I don't think there's any other species that, bird that could claim to try and eat humans other than after we're dead. Crazy talk.
Okay, but I said, I have fun with Sekiro. There's just some glaring things that just, when it happens to me, it just kills my mood instantly.
Yeah, I know. There's always games like that, right? It's definitely a thing when that happens in a game where you're like, yes, I'm in the flow. I understand the game perfectly. I just, oh wow, this does not work as well as somebody thought it would. Or just like, wow, you really let this one pass in an effort to make me get good or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just upset about system mastery. I like games that have depth. High skill floors can be rough.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with that terminology, so a lot of people talk about skill floor and skill ceiling. Skill floor is like how low your skill has to be to play the game, get the experience. Skill ceiling is as high as you can go. I like games that have a lower skill floor but a higher skill ceiling. But Soulsborne games definitely have a higher skill floor. You need to actually get in there and actually understand the systems and kind of work with them. And I know that given the accessibility talk, some people are like, but what if I can't, though? And I'm just like,
well, then it's not the game for you.
Yeah, well, we talk about that a lot. It's also one of those things where it's like, yeah, I understand, okay, if you actually have some kind of disability, that means you can't be good. But people who are perfectly non-disability and have no kinds of malices are also sometimes not good at these games. So I don't know what you want. They're hard for everybody.
So yeah. Let's see. Anything else about video game talk? Well, if we're gonna talk about P5 Royal, P5 Royal. I was thinking about getting it. I'm not sure if I want to get it. I do like steelbooks. I really like steelbooks.
Yeah, I got mine locked in. There's a question of whether or not it'll come right away. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna play it, but I've got mine locked down. I had the money. I was gonna do it. I figured I'd just go ahead and get it out of the way.
After the new month rolls around and we get Patreon bucks. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your support. I may see about getting it, even if it's back up to normal price. I'll live with it, but I don't know.
Well, the question will be, will it be in stock anywhere?
Yeah, that is a good point. But
that's why I was like, I want to lock it in now. That's one of the games that I know I want to own at some point. I just don't know if I'm going to play it right away.
That's a real good. Maybe I'll put it on my credit card. I did just pay off like $300 on it. I still need to build these fucking shelves so I have a place to put all my games.
I need to play less gacha games.
Well, actually, I haven't been playing money on video games lately for a while now, and it's showing. But I guess that's a good reason.
Well, before we leave Sekiro, I did want to actually talk about something else that's related to it, because it's funny you're suddenly into Sekiro and talking about it a lot, because while I haven't played it, I've seen it played, and I know a lot of people who actually use it as an analogy for the current edition of Legend of the Five Rings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Sekiro has basically the stance and posture system. You once you break somebody's posture, you usually get a killing blow in and they're fucking dead. Which is usually what realistically happens with real swords. If you actually hit somebody dead on with a sword, especially something like a katana, which against a lightly armored opponent is really brutal. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, you'll break it, because it'll get stuck in a bone, because bones are pretty dense, but, like, they're nasty.
Mhm.
The mechanics of L5R are actually similar. What you take as damage goes against your endurance, which is taken as fatigue, which is basically representing you blocking, dodging, parrying, letting your armor take the blow, etc.
Mhm.
And so when you exceed your ability to dodge, when you have more fatigue than your endurance limit, then you will automatically take a critical next time you are hit because you cannot defend. The game just assumes you are constantly trying to dodge, parry, or block. And in fact, you have to spend a void point to deliberately choose to take a real blow, a crit, rather than have it go to your fatigue. Which can actually make sense sometimes. The weapons have two stats in the game, damage versus deadliness. Blunt weapons tend to have very high damage. They cause a lot of fatigue because they're big and heavy, so blocking and dodging them takes a lot of effort. But they have very low deadliness because it's very hard to, sever somebody's jugular with a pole. Whereas sharp, pointy things like katanas have more, like, middling damage, but tend to have higher deadliness, and get more deadly as you use them. So, what you usually do in a fight is you're, trading blows with somebody until they get too tired to evade, and then you stab them real good and instantly put them unconscious. They pass out and probably die, because...
Hemorrhaging.
Yes, the game is pretty brutal if you're taking real crits and anybody's rolling. Like, the two-handed deadliness on a katana is like 7, which is a minimum, like a serious injury. 15 plus, I think, is the max. That's you immediately die. Like, you're fucking dead. And then several tiers below that until I think just above 10 are like, you're dying. It's whether or not you will die in moments, or whether or not you have a couple of rounds for either somebody to stop you dying or to compose your death poem. So, you can get fucked up real good fast. So that's one thing that's like, a lot of people have been saying since Sekiro came out. It's a very good analogy for people to understand, and I will probably use this to talk to newer players and be like, here's how you should understand the damage system. Unless you take a critical hit, a critical injury, you're not really getting hit. I mean, that would be pretty honorable. That's probably a sacrifice of courtesy. If somebody wants to compose a death poem, you should let him. He's already dead.
Okay, so I don't know why, but I'm looking at Amazon. For some reason, I have a $20 discount from an Audible promotion. So if I was to order now, I can just, taxes included, I can get P5 Steelbook Edition for fucking $32. I'm just all like, oh, excuse me.
Fucking lock that shit in. That's a good deal. That's better than I got.
It's like, god damn. Okay, fine. But here's the thing. I'm pretty sure I used this promotion already for my last order. So I'm just like, what?
Is it real? Who knows? But
well,
yeah, so that's one thing that's like... the other thing is actually understanding what shinobi do is very much Sekiro. Like, you're wandering around and don't get into a fight with like 50 dudes, because that's not what you do.
No.
You want to stealth them. Though, oddly enough, in L5R, if you have the ability to do a silencing... a silent kill strike, it actually is silent. I think you take, like, 2 opportunities that anybody at range band 2 or higher can't hear you.
Yeah.
Of the target mine, so you can do it with ranged attacks, too. It's pretty fun. I don't know if anybody's actually planning on playing any ninjas, but we'll see.
I might.
I don't know. You're not as locked into some of the other people I know who are like, well, I've made a character, and I really like this character, so I don't know if I'm going to leave it.
I just know I like ninjas, and I'll just be a ninja of some sort.
Yeah, I don't... So, I've said this before, I have a pre-gen... Well, actually, I made a video about that. It's actually super fucking popular on our channel. Maybe you should watch it. Boom. And if that wasn't example enough, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you should watch it again. So I've said back and forth about whether or not I should run some stuff for some people in the community. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I might still do that. I have been super busy, though, lately, and I still have, I have a couple of videos I definitely need to make next week across various franchises and stuff. And I'm playing a lot of gacha games, which we will transition to in a moment. I have bought Persona 5 Royal that's sitting in there, and I'm still not done with the ZX collection. That's a very... To me, playing, Mega Man ZX is a very, very, just a casual experience I do to just chill out sometimes, because I know that game very well. Both of those games, actually. So, that can be a more casual experience for me. And streaming, obviously, I still want to at least stream once a week. So I don't know when I'm going to have time, but maybe I'll try and remember to do that in the next couple of weeks, because I know people are here and in the community a lot, doing a lot of stuff because of various lockdowns and whatnot.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I was looking through my Amazon stuff, and the fucking Armory replica is a Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Raiden Sword replica has been sold out. I'm just like,
Huh.
Someone planning on using that maybe? I don't know.
Sure.
Well, no, I'm just seeing if this fucking weird ass discount is still being applied to everything. So hang on 1 second here. Yeah, no, it's not being applied anymore. Okay, weird. I guess it was just maybe it was for 2 checkouts. I guess. Weird.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Maybe it was just against the select items and applied.
Yeah. I don't know. So, like when Lucky all of a sudden randomly saves money, Lucky's concerned. It's like, who is tricking me?
But yeah, so Sekiro has good analogies that I will use in the future. Let's take a quick break because we've been going for an hour, and I have been drinking a lot of water, and then we'll probably talk about that gacha stuff we mentioned because segues. And we have resumed from intermission. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so we are in kind of a gacha gangbang right now. RIP Girls Frontline, the fact that I have all the special T dolls means I have done absolutely nothing in that event so far.
Yeah, same.
I really want to. I'm logging in and doing my logistics and stuff, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, I can't. Well, one of the reasons why I should specify is because, holy shit, Azur Lane has been having a time.
Oh boy.
So we alluded to this earlier. I don't think you and I would probably be as upset as I know some people in our community are. It kind of reminds me of the FGO login shenanigans, though. So obviously we're not that audience anyway.
Yeah.
But so to explain, if you don't play Azur Lane, which some people do not, that's fair. Basically, they had a really fucking long maintenance for this latest event that came out. I think it was like 10 hours. It was like super, super long. Because they were working on a lot of network stability. They've been kind of chaotic lately, right?
Yeah.
As expected, because there's a lot of people at home all at the same time with nothing better to do. I expect before the game had like different peaks and valleys depending on when people were available, you know? But right now it's just there's a shitload of people who are just stuck at home with nothing better to do. So they tried to do it longer for better server stability. And for some of the servers, it kind of worked. Login got a little chaotic for a second, but they fixed it pretty fast for some of the newer servers, like Lexington and Washington, I think.
Yes.
I think those are the newest ones. So those people were fine. Sandy and Aurora, Aurora being the starting one and Sandy, I think, being the second one, were super fucked for a long time. There was a brief window where they were open, and then logins basically broke down. So I don't know. They actually tried to explain as best they could what happened, and basically it was like, we did the updated code to our servers, we fixed the issue, it worked for the newer ones, it didn't work for the older ones, so we had to, like, run it down and track down the bugs. I don't know if that was just because those servers are actually literally older, they're more populated, I don't know. Were they on, like, slightly different versions of something? Who knows? Technicals are complicated sometimes.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know what's happening on the server side. I don't know. So I don't...
We don't throw stones, as it were.
Yeah. But it was... As I think I was most irritated because... Here's the thing about the connection error. Sometimes you could get in, and sometimes you couldn't. So it was literally just... Yes,
there was a stability issue for a long time on those servers. I actually, after they opened it up the first time, like, they stopped putting them in emergency maintenance, I actually got in and was able to, like, get logins, pick up the compensation, start a set of builds. I'm not... This is a very cursed rate up for me. I've gotten a lot of super rares, which are not rate up. Like, I've gotten an Illustrious and a Prince and some shit. Maybe an Enterprise in there. But I was able to, like, set up a 10 roll and leave and come back to it. So it took them a long while. On the other hand, shitloads of free gems. Just raining free gems.
I'm over 1,000 now.
I almost wish they broke down this much because this is the only time they've ever given me so many gems without siphoning it from my wallet.
And cubes.
Yes, they've given a lot of spare cubes. That's why I still have like 50 of them, even though I've done like 3 or 4. I think it's 3 now, 10 spins.
Actually, I'm going to finish up this FGO run and get into Azur Lane before I forget.
I'm still punching I'm trying to get Anastasia to the last ascension I can do before she needs that goddamn permafrost.
So much permafrost!
It's like 12. On the other hand, because it's Caster Archer Day, I have finally protected Fujino's smile because, well, somebody needs that EXP. But yeah, so Azure Lane, super chaotic, not really good. A lot of the people very vibratingly annoyed. Even though all the stuff that matters was comped to you. Yeah. All the stuff that matters was comped to you. I think I'm actually going to get 2 of the login ship unless they don't do it that way because they gave me a free one and also my login is not fucked up. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be weird. You don't normally do that.
Also, they said like sometime in the future they're going to be giving us event points. I don't know.
Yes, they also want to reimburse you for missed event points, which I'll appreciate just because events are kind of a slog, and I do need that 8K for Bremerton.
So, like, fun fact, because they had some weird bug back with the Dragon Girl, because if you don't know, that's what Ryujo means, and the soft map event, I was able to brute force my way to the 10K for Ryujo. But I was at, like, only 8K for a soft map. I'm like, I don't want to do, like, 15 more map runs just to get this goddamn costume.
And they gave you the stuff.
And they gave, I think it was, like, 1,500. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fuck, instead of 2,000, I'm only 500 away now. God damn it.
Well, I got you closer, at least.
It got me close enough. But it was enough to make me go, okay, I'll get this fucking costume. Damn you, skins!
Yeah, I don't. They gave me more skin rental vouchers, and I just think to myself, do I want to tempt me, or do I want to hold on to my wallet? Because there's a lot of good skins.
So apparently it's Olympic themed. I didn't know that.
Yes, which is funny because they delayed the Olympics.
Yeah.
But yes, the skins are all sports themed.
Sports.
Bremerton's regular ass tennis. Well, maybe not. There's a little bit of there. Bosch is very horny tennis.
So small, so horny.
Marblehead, actually being normal and not that weird. It's not that dramatic, you normies. Because we joke. Lucky also retweeted something I retweeted about the 4 horsemen of normally triggering. Apocalypse. Because there are quite a few ships in Azure Lane that, because, as we have remarked, the game is very horny. I think I said this in Gacha Chat. Oh, I see Bremerton's tits have a loading screen. Because while technically Intrepid is in the foreground, and I did get Fighting Eye, that's the only SR I've gotten out of this batch. Was it Reno's also an SR, right?
Yes.
I haven't gotten one of those yet.
Yeah, SR. I keep forgetting that fucking Azure Lane.
Gold is SR in Azure Lane, not SSR. Yeah. They have their own methods. Yeah. I don't think Arknights even bothers with like a special term. It's just the number of stars they are, I think.
Well, I guess you can go by their fucking tag. Because there's top operator, senior operator.
The rest,
but I guess, yeah,
starter.
3... Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, you could go by colors, but also, yeah. Anyway, but Azure Lane was like, they had, Intrepid is the centerpiece, but Bremerton is very large and very correctly angled in this segment. But yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, I guess some people maybe are upset about Baltimore's skin because they had to clarify that they're, like, drawn on tattoos. Omega doesn't mind.
I don't care either.
I'm
like, I don't know, I've heard some, like, people who, like...
I expect because they were drawn by Japanese artists, there's probably some question marks in there. And I'm gonna bet that was for Japan they had to clarify they're drawn on because tattoos have a very strong cultural context in Japan. You're either a criminal or you're a slut.
Yeah.
Or possibly a criminal slut. Who knows?
Why be one when you can be both?
So there's some cultural baggage that unfortunately we get splash damage on.
Oh yeah, that's the Shendal bullshit, whatever.
Well, that's the thing with Marblehead. But that is almost assuredly the artist is making a joke because that's not really... While Marblehead certainly is sporty and has a bit of the Gyara look, I don't think she's, like, in a dark spiral of drug abuse and nymphomania or something. She seems normal if spunky. Is it? I don't know. You see, here's the thing. Everyone's saying it's all these references, but I either have two reactions to that. If it's referencing, oh, that's cool, or I don't care. Like, yeah, I feel like some people over-exaggerate. They're like, no, you can't possibly reference something horny. I'm like, y'all, this is Azure Lane. They don't need to reference anything to be horny.
Yeah.
There's a great loading screen of all the Russian ladies, which is, make sure to point out, does Kirov also show up in that? I think she does. But there's like, I think, obviously Soviet Russia is very modest. but I think it's Chapayev and Kirov flanking her, which is just like cleavage. So I'm just like, nah, dude, whatever. I don't care. And the other thing is about references, just like, how do you know that's a reference? Where did you learn this? What are you looking at that you know this reference? Huh? Yes. Also fucking Akagi in the anime too. Ooh. I still haven't watched a lot of the anime, but boy, it really doesn't hold back.
I mean, there is a lot of strong Nason and Yandere energy, and
Akagi is scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, overall, the event's alright. It's okay.
I really haven't done a single map on it.
I've been doing the maps just because I've been able to get in. I'm through the first half, the first three, all three started. I need to work on the second. I'm at about 2K points.
There's even more competition. Compensation. Fuck!
Yeah, they've been stacking up the compensations. Did they put in a new one just now? Maybe they did. Or maybe you didn't do the last one. I don't know.
Well, I just got the event ship one. But yeah, now I'm back up to fucking 58 cubes back when I was down to 20. So, it's a lot of fucking cubes because I got my 12 for my daily, then there was 20 in the pack.
And actually, I should say, we were actually put off recording the show a little bit because I was like, yo, I'm finishing up some AL runs because I was working on 3-starring the third map.
Alright, well, I'm gonna do another 10 pull because I fucking can.
I will continue to do 10 pulls until I either run out of cubes or I get all the ships, and if I don't, I will cry.
Vogue.
Because I gotta be honest.
Langley. Chicago,
actually, we had this conversation because resident emote mancer, drama queen, Vesper.
I love that cross. I'm never going to be unhappy about
I'm so sad I don't think anybody screen grabbed that in time.
Yeah.
We played Jackbox. Lucky was actually there. And you won a round of Quiplash.
Yeah.
Pretty handily, too, I think.
I just kept poking fun at myself, and it worked.
Yes, that is the thing I've noticed. The thing about doing Quiplash, especially with community people, is in-jokes, self-references, and etc. work.
Yep.
Also, once you get enough brains involved, people don't care about typos. There were a couple of times, especially early on, before a lot of extra people showed up, like in Dictionarium, where grammar actually mattered.
I'm still upset about Forney. Why the fuck was my definition? Oh my god.
Hey, you were the only... I think you were the only one... See, okay. I love Dictionarium. I also hate Dictionarium. Because it's all decided the moment you get your first word. If it's a shitty word, you're fucked. Like, I think you really literally had the best definition for whatever the fuck the original word was.
It was I don't know what it was. It's just anonymous. I'm like, what the fuck is anonymous? Anonymous. I had no context. I'm like, fuck it, furry shit, go. And that was just the mood for the rest of the fucking match. I was like, God.
Yep, you just set the tone, because... and also some other shit came, because we did a second round with slang, and Revenge Camp just kept coming back. Like I said, that's where grammar kicks in. Because I think I won on a round about Murder Beach or whatever, because I was the only one who grammatically tried to actually meet the original definition, and everybody else was just like, fucking slasher movie references or whatever. Yeah. I don't remember exactly.
What is black and white and red all over? My answer was Lucky after Camp Revenge. That went so handedly. Oh man, that's what I mean by like a bunch of self-referencing.
But Vesper is recent to Azur Lane, has been working on some PR stuff, and was like, I want to get Rune. Oh hey, I literally only have one of the ships that qualifies for Rune's EXP, because guess what? Almost all the fucking Ironblood frontrunners and backliners are event ships.
Yep.
Similarly, I said, hey, it could be
worse.
worse.
That's my third fucking Reno. Get the fuck out, girl.
Well, actually, I should say I think it's all light cruisers. There are quite a few Ironblood destroyers in game now, I think.
You have to basically use you have to use Prince Wigan,
who is an SR, which you might not have.
Yeah. I think Hipper is in game.
Yeah.
Hipper.
Is Hip permanent?
And then you have the I think so. No, maybe not.
It's so hard to tell. That's the problem. I actually asked this question, and I never got an answer, so I still don't know. How many permanent ships does Azur Lane actually add? I know they do it, but when and how and where? I literally don't know. But yeah, so, like, it can be a little chaotic to get Ironblood, but I also said, hey, at least, whoa, Panda. That is very on brand. Holy shit. Is that a gift? Actually, can I star that? I'm gonna star that just in case. I can't use it, but Lucky, you might want to turn that into an emote.
Panda gave that. I just keep forgetting about it. Hang on. Let me actually.
But where? So like, but it could be even worse. Your entire faction could be locked behind a limited event. Hi, France, both of you, and also pizza pasta, and also Russia.
Vodka.
Technically, I think Aurora is now in the permanent pool, but that's still just one ship. So
she's in the light pool. Well, it's back how like the fucking Dragon Empire used to only have 2 ships, and then they got 3,
yes.
And then they had that event. But still, I think like outside the event, there's only 3 Dragon Emperor ships.
So it's still very chaotic at times. And I appreciate it with my great America powers. I appreciate once again adding a shitload of Eagle Union ships, which makes me want to get them real bad, especially because they're cool.
That's my 3rd Marblehead. I've gotten 3 Renos and 3 Marbleheads.
Damn you, Renos. I've also got a shitload of Marblehead, though. I appreciate that. But once she's just an R. Like, she's just a blue. That's cool. She's neat. I'll never, ever use her because I'm pretty sure my Eagle Union fleet is locked the fuck in. But, neat. I like her.
Cubes. Let's see here.
I might actually, I don't know. Baltimore's a cool guy. She's cool. And she's in this event some. The event seems okay. Though, I was a little worried. It turned out not to matter because the boss still actually pops up. But that happened? I don't remember that. I don't know though. It's entirely possible if they tweeted about it that I missed it because holy shit, Azure Lane has been tweeting off the charts. And if it was on Discord, I don't. I know I probably should, but I don't join gacha game Discords. Maybe when I have Nitro and I can, when I get around to actually getting Nitro and I can steal fucking emotes like Vesper does. But otherwise, I'm just kind of not interested. Just because I won't look at them. Like, I've joined other Discord communities and then just quietly left them because I have to, like, mute the servers because it's hard enough paying attention to our server, you know?
I feel that so much.
But yeah, so, I appreciate they add all these ships and they're really cool designs, but also, holy shit, it's a lot of ships, guys. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me in my fucking dock space I don't have?
Oh, they just gave me a fuck ton of gems for it.
True. But I want to use those gems to get my 5th dorm slot. I've never actually done that because it's like 800 gems for the last one. And I'm like, when will I ever have 800 gems? It's Azure Lane. Either I buy a shitload to buy skins, or you give me like 50 when you have a maintenance. Like, that's again, we've talked about this. Azure Lane is really shitty with its gem compensation. Like, say what you want about Girls Frontline. They're way better about that with their fucking every week you get 30, 60, 90, 120. Every month total.
Every week you can share and get 30.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're really generous with gems. They just try and nickel and dime you on spending the gems. But I'm immune to this. Azure Lane is not that generous, sadly. And Arknights is good. I've actually got a whole 10 spin waiting because I got literally everybody on the current rate up in 1 spin. Which I was worried that's where my gacha luck went. And maybe it is. Maybe that's where my Azure Lane luck left. But still, yeah. Azure Lane, though, the event's okay. There is a submarine... There's a Siren submarine boss. I think that's new. Not too difficult. Just let your own submarines shoot at her and eventually she'll pop out. She's got a weird space shark, though. That's cool.
Space sharks are cool.
But yeah, I am slowly working on the event, and I'm making sure to do my reps. If there was another boss, I, literally didn't remember it. But anyway, that's Azure Lane. Lucky, you have any thoughts? You're not actually playing the event yet. Anything else you want to talk about Azure Lane?
I just started. No,
it's very foggy.
It is very foggy. I guess, honestly, I'm probably going to just skip the story, even though it seems like you can't. I'll just read it later.
Honestly, I do that a lot with Azure Lane.
Because, here's the thing. I feel like the flow was upset because I wasn't able to jump into the event right away with all the with the maintenance and connection errors. So the flow was broken. I misstepped, so now I got to stop, take a deep breath, and then step on the path again. So it might be a little bit before I can actually get to it. But I do like the new girls. I'm like, I'll throw down for them best I can. But no, yeah, same kind of same with Girls Frontline. Just I don't need any of these things. Well, some of the things might be nice, but I've just mostly been logging in. I did see today that they are releasing one of the new heavy ordnance.
Yes, we are, because we're getting a new the theater mode, whatever that is. We're getting another one of the heavy ordnance corps. We're getting another anti-tank missile AT4 team.
Whoop.
So that answers another question. I guess just vanilla heavy weapons period count under heavy ordnance, because the thing about an AT-4 is that it's a men-portable anti-tank system. It's literally supposed to be like one guy in your fire team can carry an AT-4 if you need to use it. But obviously the Hawk system is you have like 3 T-dolls.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for a lot more targeting and...
Well, usually one of the T-dolls in the Hawk squad seems to play escort, like she's carrying a regular-ass gun to defend them, and then the others are usually like loaders are set up, so there's probably like one of the T-dolls carries the extra AT-4s, and then one of them actually fires. Yeah. Vesper's not even listening. Oh, that's right. That was in Let's Talk FGO. I'm sorry. I'm complaining about you. I'm sorry. I take that back. You're talking about other thing.
What?
You're talking about in Let's Talk FGO about rolling. I'm just... So many channels. So many people talking. What do I... Oh. Did I get more EXPs out of that? Hold on. I'm still trying to level Anastasia. I played some Arknights this morning and sat through some of the story. I can talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind moving on.
I don't mind. So, fun fact. I want to mention this. We talk about how Azur Lane is absolute horny energy. Arknights is the literal opposite of that.
No. It's so very wholesome.
Well, like, one of my favorite girls, my favorite opera is Jessica. Okay? She's a precious, and I need to give her hugs and stuff. And her costume is her literally just armored the fuck up. You almost can't tell it's her, except for the
she's because the theme of this event is, like, hazmat shit. Like, literally, that's the dorm set, is you can buy a fucking, like, clean room medical bay. And I'm like, do I want this? I'm not sure.
But Jessica is just completely armored up. I'm just all like, this is absolute opposite energy, but I still love it.
No, they go for more of a high fashion design type. I've got one of exercise costumes, which is just a cool field outfit. I've got Cliff's costume too, so it's like, yeah, they're just neat. Now some of them are like, there are some summer costumes, so there's a little bit of action in some of those, but they're still not as... God, they are not as horny as Azur Lane. I'm looking at you, Honolulu. What is that hose even doing? How does that work? Huh? It doesn't. Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Where's the science behind it? But yeah, so, yes, Arknights is very not horny energy. Like, the new 6-star Magellan is dressed functionally.
Mm-hmm. She looks like an engineer type.
Yeah, she is a supporter who has drones, and she is a penguin. I didn't even catch it at first, but she has a little, like, beak-shaped mask she's not wearing. It's adorable. Flamebringer is just a dude with a giant sword. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess if you liked that, he's, like, super tall and strong, and has a giant sword. He's also a bit weird, but I'm only a couple of these little story segments in. There's a lot of very interesting conversations I appreciate in the story, like, like just talking about the nature of war and the cycle of hatred and the struggle between the infected and whatnot. There's a lot of commentary on the morality of basically, hey, is Dr. Calcit an okay lady, considering she has revived us from our horrible amnesia and we are now a war leader in our fucking pharmaceutical organization? Listen, guys, Dr. Calcit is very shifty and might also be our ex-wife.
Like I said, I haven't got too far. I think I've only gotten like 400 points in there, but the very first data tape you can get,
it's so good, but also it's kind of weird in the context of like greater Arknights. But I love it. I love that they're doing different things with the storytelling.
Yeah.
Also, Helger is a unit later. That's cool.
Something that I appreciate about this points ladder event, though, is that the point ladders isn't super fucking high.
No, and also it's literally everywhere. Like, I stopped to go, I think... Yeah, I went to go punch specialist chips. Not specialist, supporter chips, so I could E1 Magellan. Because she's cool, and I tried her out a little bit. And literally, I got points from that. Now, So, I can't access the 5th event map, because I haven't unlocked Chapter 5 yet, and I won't for a while, because, man, spiders suck. Lucky, have you met Awakened Originum slugs, aka exploding spiders?
No, I'm in Chapter 3, I think, still.
Okay. Well, when you meet them, you'll know what I mean. They fucking suck. They explode when you kill them. It's awful.
Like I said, I haven't been playing Azur Lane, like, real seriously at all. I've just been longing in and trying.
And I haven't been able to figure out map 4 yet, but I don't have to because you could get fucking points anywhere. I am spamming the event maps because I think those are the best drops, but like compared to having just come off several ludicrous points ladder events in FGO, which were a huge pain in the dick, and do I believe get better as the game goes on, but still, I'm so glad that it's so simple and like it's just direct there. I've unlocked my Flamebringer. I'm at about 750 points, so I got my first copy of Flamebringer. I don't know if I'm ever going to use him or what he even does, but he's a guy, I guess.
Like, I haven't been focusing on getting anyone to E2, really, because I don't want to go through that hell.
I can't. Like, I'm trying to level up my units to get them good, but it's hard. It's a long trip. It's so expensive. I will E2 some people, but damn.
So what I've been doing is I've just been going through, like, I've been working from the bottom up, so I literally have my 1-stars, which are just Lancet and Castle leveled. I have all my 2-stars fully leveled, and I've just been slowly working on my 3-stars as I give my higher level ones, like the big ones I use, just incremental upgrades across the board.
I am mostly working on units that I want or will need. Like, I realized that, like, oh yeah, I actually own Lapland. I should probably make sure to level her because her silence ability is really good, you know? Like, I was like, oh shit, I did roll Silver Ash. I should stop being mad at him for not being a cute girl and level him, because he's really good. And he is.
Who?
Silver Ash. Great potential.
Oh.
But he wasn't Siege or Hoshi, so...
I was like, that's what I was confused about. He's like, not a cute girl.
Yeah. He wasn't his other sister. The man racked up a lot of sins, but he came out of the doghouse on account of him being very bullshit. His second skill's kind of dumb. He shrinks his attack range, but still keeps some extra tiles in exchange for having a shitload of passive healing, which is great, because you could just throw him out in the middle of nowhere and be like, hey, Silver Ash, hold this choke point. And he does it. It's crazy. But, like, I have been leveling my... I don't know when I'm going to want to get a chance to use her, but I have been leveling my Hoshiguma because I got one, you know. And just... I level the units I feel like I'm going to want to use and I'm going to need to use later. And then I slowly am focusing on just rounding out other characters that are like, okay, you're bottom of the A team. I can take you from, like, level 45 to 50 or whatever. And then usually I get, like, halfway through and I'm like, oh, you have to stay at 48 because I'm fucking broke. Because LMD is awful in this game, but I find it hard to be mad at Arknights for necessarily maybe being a little limited, because obviously the game only has 6 stories chapters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 6th one took a while to come out, so obviously it's not necessarily meant to be a game that you just binge all the way through. It's not like what we do with FGO, right? Where there's a new event every couple of weeks, and then, you know, you want to just smash through the story and stuff, right? Which I haven't, though. I've been smashing the Ember Mines. But still. Yeah, I'm in Chapter 4, but I don't feel any rush to push through. I will get my units to a point where they can do it. Same with Annihilation. I will get to a point where I can get farther than, like, 200 in, Actually, am I even at 200? I might still be at, like, 150 range in Annihilation 3. Annihilation 3 is a bitch and a half. Actually, that's a good question, Lucky. Have you looked at that map at all?
Which one?
Annihilation 3? No,
I am literally like maybe 10 enemies away from 400ing Annihilation 2.
I also need to perfect my Annihilation 2 somehow. I probably just need to take, next time the weekly reset, I need to just take the fucking 40 minutes or whatever it is and do it manually again. Auto is sometimes a little goofy.
It is.
But yeah, Arknights I think is meant to have a slower pace. That would be weird, getting Halloween next. Like, I know they're doing events out of place, but that would be strange. I know that they did push back the next event, which for Arknights was summer, because apparently it came out May 30th last year, so they're approaching their first full year. It'll be interesting to see what they get.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, I was basically just saying, I feel more forgiving towards Arknights for its, like, currency quibbles and whatnot, because the game is clearly meant to be played gradually over a long period of time, and just, you check in every day, you get your daily run and whatever. When it's a new week, you do your Annihilation runs or whatever, and you just work through so that you can roll occasionally and level up your ops occasionally. Like, you pick a project and focus on it, and sometimes that project is story, and sometimes that project is, I need a shitload of chips to promote units. I need random crap to do skills. Whatever. You just sit on it and work slowly.
Yeah, I need to remind people to play your own way. Don't let the people who literally go 120% on a game, E2ing everything, mastering everything from like the gate is the normal way to play.
And also, don't necessarily take that at face value. Just because you see a friend who is pretty whole hog on this game, and they've talked about getting a couple E2s, I know those people. Some of those people aren't actually that tryhard at the game. They just, like, laser focused to, I really like this unit, I will E2 them.
Yeah.
And they probably suffered for it, because holy shit, E2, damn. I don't have any E2s yet, just because it's like, that would require me to laser focus on a single unit. Damn it, Arash, why can't you blow up Archer hands all the way? Whatever, Lancelot cleared it up. But yeah, I think that's everything gotcha, just because we're not super hard playing Girls Frontline, either of us right now.
Yeah, let's see. So we talked Azure Lane, Girls Frontline, Arc Knights. Yeah, I think that's all for gotcha.
Alright, well, we're about an hour and a half in. Want to talk about anime?
Yeah, sure. So we're in this weird point that I absolutely hate of the anime seasons. It's the switch point.
Yeah, some shows are ending, a couple shows have a couple of episodes left.
Some are beginning, and it's just this giant clusterfuck of, I'm not sure what I should be watching right now.
And also, hey, guess what? There's this really fucking globally warping thing going on. It's fucking everything up.
It is fucking everything up. But, we still know what's supposed to be coming out. And I'll tell you things that I'm most hyped for, like I said last week. But, Omega, did you catch up on My Hero Academia?
No, I was gonna today, and then I got distracted.
Yeah, that happens.
So it's in my queue of things to do, along with, I think I mentioned this earlier, talking about busy week. I still have to, I've been sitting on our last Clone Wars AP. Like, I have the audio, I haven't uploaded it anywhere, so I need to work on that too. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll watch anime while it renders.
Yeah. So,
though I do want to say, before you go on a big long ramble about animus, JoJo update. I finished Battle Tendency.
Nice.
I've only had time to watch a couple of episodes into Stardust Crusaders, but got all the way through the first season of the anime.
Yada yada.
But all right, Lucky, tell the people about the animus.
All right, so we're getting into the spring 2020. As I said, a lot of dates have probably been pushed back, and some are just to be determined. But we know that they're at least mostly done with production. Again, I don't know exactly how far in advance anime is made, because as I said, there's definitely some things that are done week to week or in like specific like big blocks. But we're finally getting this spring we're getting our second season of Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Super hype about this one. I said I love the first one. The first season of Kaguya-sama is one of my I'm just gonna put something fucking on and have it on in the background animes. Which is basically I know the anime well enough that I can just look up from whatever I'm doing, look at the anime, and I know exactly, because I've just watched it that much. So, like I said, I'm super hype about that. One that I'm tangentially interested in is we're getting the third season of my how's it translated? My romantic high school, my high school romance is wrong as expected. No, my romantic love high school comedy is wrong as expected. Yeah, the English name is translated as a snafu, but meh. Is wrong as expected is how it's literally translated. This one's interesting as I really like the protagonist, Hachiman, and how he deals with his life. But I'm still in the second season on that. But, so knowing that the amount I have to watch is only gonna grow is, it's a mixed blessing. We also got the last part of the Alicization arc and Sword Art Online. I said, I don't care what anyone says, I thought the first part of the Alicization arc was real good, and I'm excited about that. I've been avoiding spoilers so I can be shocked and surprised in how it all turns out. Now, this one might seem a little weird for me, but as much as I like anime, but as much as people have been hyping up Tower of God, which is coming out here in a few days, I'm not that interested in it. I
just saw a tweet about that.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, I'll probably watch it. I'll give it a shot and see what it's like. But it's never been it's like I'm like it's not something that's all like I'm gonna watch it. I think it also might be honestly because it is getting like Crunchyroll is hyping the fuck out of it. Like, and that just triggers my what's the word I want to say? My
contrary reflex.
Yeah, there we go. My contrary reflex. It's like, you must like this thing. And I'm just like, I'm not this thing. Fuck you.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, where it's just like, heck, we talked about that last week with JoJo, because it's like, listen, stuff is good. Some stuff is really good. At some point, we should probably talk about the Peace Talks trailer. But we've talked about how cool Dresden Files is. I say this though, like, I also didn't get into that series for a while because people were like, "Oh my god, it's the coolest thing ever." I'm like, is it actually the coolest thing ever? You know, and some people are just like that, where it's just like, "Oh man, this is the best. You should do it this way." I'm like, are you sure about that? And Crunchyroll's social media ad blitz can be a little obnoxious with some things.
Ah, yeah.
I didn't even know what Tower of God is, though. That's how insulated I am.
I just know it's some huge fantasy manhwa, but I don't know. I'll see it eventually. We got the second season of Fruits Basket, which should finish out the complete series. Excited about that. The first season was really good. Let's see here. I'm not that hype about Shokugeki no Soma. I don't know why. I just lost interest over a while. Same with the manga. Something that surprised me, interesting that I didn't know about, shame on Lucky, is that Trigger has a new anime coming out, called BNA, which stands for Brand New Animal. Let me read you the synopsis here real quick. In the 21st century, the existence of animal humans came to light after being hidden in the darkness of history. Michiru lived life as a normal human until one day she turns into a Tanuki human. She runs away and takes refuge in the special city area called Anima City that was set up 10 years ago for animal humans to be able to live as themselves. There, Michiru meets Shiro, a wolf human who hates humans. Through Shiro, Michiru starts to learn about the worries, lifestyle, and joys of being an animal human. As Michiru and Shiro try to learn why Michiru suddenly turned into an animal human, they unexpectedly get wrapped up in a large incident. So, listening to this one, it's probably not going to end up in space, but I like Trigger.
I was just about to ask, but how will they space, though? Maybe weird animals are from space.
Who knows?
Maybe weird animals are clothes from space.
Interesting enough, apparently the first 6 episodes were pre-streamed on Netflix on March 21st, and the regular TV broadcast was supposed to start on April 9th. But because fucking Netflix, we don't get the same things in Japan as, they do, and we have to wait, like, half a year. Great. But I said, for one, I like Monster Girls, which includes Animal Girls, and 2, I like Trigger, so I'm definitely going to give this one a watch.
I'll probably find the time, because I too like Trigger.
And, well, I just hope it's going to one of the platforms that I have. Lucky tries to avoid witchcraft. I really do. Just because, like I said, witchcraft is just another fucking step that I don't want to have to deal with. I really don't.
Well, yeah, well, some people are assholes. I say this as a lifelong practitioner of hoisting the colors. But nobody wants to do that. They just do that because, listen, I understand. You've been a poor, starving college student or teenager before. You can't afford things. You don't even have your own fucking credit card. Okay, I understand this. That's fine. Like, that's the thing. I'm not, some kind of dirty commie, but at the same time, I'm like, there's times in life when you don't have money, and that sucks to be able not to enjoy something you want to enjoy, right? Just because you're poor. Because that's, kind of classist.
Like, I used to hoist the colors over fucking books, audiobooks, games, anime, all that stuff. But as soon as I got a paycheck, that stopped.
Because the other half of that is people only do it when it's really fucking inconvenient to get your stuff legit. And somehow the classic problem, somehow pirating this thing is easier than watching it legit. You never ever want to be in that situation because that is the moment when people will be like, why am I not also getting it for free and more convenient to me?
Yeah.
So we approve of supporting the official release, as they say, but also we're not hypocrites. We understand that sometimes people do the stuff.
Yeah, but honestly, if I know there's something out that that I want to watch, but it's not on any of my legal fucking my streamings, I'm just like, well, let me just put on my hat. Gonna go do this. So that's why I'm always hoping it's please just be on one of the things I use. It's also one of the reasons why my major complaint about Netflix is, Netflix, I know you licensed this. I fucking know you licensed this. Why are we waiting 6 months for this? Give it to me now. Right now.
Well, and I think I've heard this conversation before. Netflix, being big as they are, probably knows that some anime fans, being how they are, will know to just steal this shit, basically. To just pirate it. I say steal as a euphemism, by the way, because I am actually legally educated, and I do not believe that piracy equal theft for definitional reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to have that argument with people, but I've done it before on air, so I won't bog people down with it. But they probably understand that some diehard animes will just get it pulled from fucking broadcasts in Japan. They are assuming that the majority of their audience are using Netflix because they like Netflix, so they're used to binging. And I'll say, there are certainly some shows that I definitely have enjoyed a lot binging. Like my ability to watch an entire season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in like 3 days. Flowed really well. Like I said, I think I literally watched all of part 1 in like one evening, except the epilogue. And honestly, I really like being able to watch all of Kakegurui in one block. You know, both seasons of that worked out good. Though I definitely had to be reminded that they came out on Netflix. Because it's easy to forget. Because Netflix recommendations are weird, kids.
They're still recommending things that came out a long time ago. I'm like, please stop.
Yeah, they also have algorithms much like YouTube does, so it's weird. So yeah, there's a lot of their style. I think is just like, oh, it's Netflix. People binge. We'll just hold off until it's all out, and then we'll set it up to binge.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they lose enough revenue to actually. Because here's the thing: you're not going to cancel your fucking Netflix subscription. You're just going to watch the anime elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't think they see enough break. Like, here's the thing: if you wanted to actually change that policy, and this is not me just be talking to Lucky, this is me talking to broadly. If you wanted to change that policy actually, you would have to literally cancel your Netflix until they got the anime back or whatever, and let them know that's why you did it, because otherwise they won't change their behavior at all.
Yeah.
That's called voting with your wallet, and that's how large conglomerates and companies work. They only understand the audience through the feedback you give and through when you spend your money.
Mm-hmm. That's what all of their focus is on.
And that's where all their data is. So, if you just complain on the internet about Netflix not releasing anime in a timely manner, they don't hear that. Well, Netflix is also probably not listening to our podcast, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This is, again, general advice. The thing you gotta do is let them know in a format that they can track and follow, and they do that via money. And quite frankly, Netflix is actually probably doing a fucking great business right now.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Netflix, if you are listening, sponsor us. We'll totally shill for you on air.
Oh, hell yeah, we will. I actually really like your anime catalog. It's pretty good. We just wish it was released slightly faster.
Mm.
But you can hook us up. We'll shill 30-day free trials or whatever. Netflix.com/StudiOmega.
So BNA's coming out. As I said, apparently the first 6 episodes already aired, but regular broadcasting starts the 9th. So keep an eye out for that. Another one that I am personally excited for, and other people might not, is Glepnir, where it's kind of a horror drama, but with comedy and ecchi in it. Yay. Basically, it's just this kid who has this power to turn into a scary-looking mascot outfit, and he meets this hot girl who's all like, yes, let us die together, and some other weird shit, who can climb inside him, usually naked, to fight other mysterious, creepy things with a whole bunch of mystery in it. I'm like, yeah, so it's creepy and pervy. Excellent. Right up my degenerate's alley. So that's good. And I was actually looking this up because I didn't actually recognize the animation studio. The animation studio was named Pine Jam, which is pretty. It's not big dick swinging in the animation community. It's only been around since 2015. I think they only had a few titles to their name.
I'm just silently nodding because we had this conversation off air.
They did Gamers, Just Because, and another two that they're a short series, but they're together, and they've done some OVAs and stuff. So for them doing this is their first attempt at it, and the animation looks pretty solid, and so I'm excited for that. Let's see here. What else am I actually interested in, or specifically not interested in here? Let's see here. Kashi Shigoto is something that I passingly read for a bit and seems interesting. Basically, there's I haven't seen the Okasan OVA yet. It's on my list of things to do. I just watched the Tensura OVA, the one that was all about butts, and I was all like, yes, excellent. But I will be watching it soon. Yeah, Kakashi Goto is about a father, a single father, who is a manga artist, but whose manga is kind of weird and raunchy, and he doesn't want his daughter finding out about it, so he fakes a life and tries to keep it hidden from her. It's just, all that. And so I'm like, okay, this is potentially cute, so I might give this a watch. Something that I am definitely watching though is the Destruction Flag Otome. I have been waiting for this for years, ever since I read the light novel. Basic story is it's a isekai. It's a game isekai, except it's the reverse, where it's a girl and she gets dropped into an Otome game with a bunch of hot boys and becomes our Lord and Savior, Bakarina. Like, I don't think I can actually describe this in a way that will make people understand how actually hype I am for this, but be sure I will be watching it.
Yes, and I've heard of this before too, so I am interested in it.
Mm-hmm. So next on my list of things I'm interested in is the second season of Ascendance of a Bookworm. Last season was only this fall?
I believe so. I believe that's when you talked about it.
Yeah, it was back in the fall. As Ascendance of a Bookworm is a low magic isekai with a lot of character building and interesting stuff. I said it if you want to get away from the standard isekai overpowered protagonist harem formula, this is a good one. I said most of this girl's story is trying not to be poor and get some goddamn books to read, which is honestly pretty good. Let's see here. So there was one. Let's see. Looks like there's another isekai that's coming out that I'll probably look at. I don't want to really read the name right here, but I'm like, fine, sure, I'll give it a try. We got the second season of No Guns Life 2 with fucking Juzo the Gunhead. It's gonna be great. Excited about that. Another season of Joshin-chan Dropkick. I hope that's on Amazon again, like the first season was. Joshin-chan Dropkick is literally a show about this girl who just summons a demon, and the demon can't get back to hell unless she kills her summoner. But Joshin, who's the demon, it just bungles up or is completely ineffective against her and just dies horribly constantly. But luckily she's a demon, so she can just regenerate. And they make a bunch of other demonic and angelic friends, and it just makes me laugh so much. God, I should just show people the fucking OP for the first season, and they can laugh. Let's see here. I think that might be all of it. I don't really yeah, I think that's it from what I'm excited for. Here's the thing, I'm just gonna look at things as they pop up and maybe watch an anime or two, and some might trap me and oh my god, this is so much better than I thought it was gonna be. I had that with a couple this season. You might all laugh at me for this, but I fucking loved Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga. I was dying at it, most of the time. Basically, Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga is just a story. It's actually a pretty low budget anime about Oda Nobunaga who just gets reincarnated as a Shiba Inu in modern times. And that's it. That's just the premise of it. And him just being a fucking dog. I'm just like, this is great. It's so simple. And it's it's not high quality, but it just makes me laugh as Oda Nobunaga is just this old man and a dog just being, I'm a fucking dog. I'm gonna do dog things and compare modern life to how it was things back in the Sengoku era and be a fucking dog with all my other dog warlords. I'm just like, this is so great. If I honestly, people might laugh. I want a fucking second season of that. The other one was Don't Mess with the Ezokin. Now this is the opposite the opposite of strength. This is super Don't Mess with our Ezokin is super high quality in the weirdest way. The animation style is definitely unique, but the characters, the story, how they portray everything is the imagination of the characters is it just blew my mind. I fucking love it. That's one of those things I'm getting on Blu-ray when it comes out, just because I was like, God damn, this was an experience, and I want other people to experience it. Oh, excuse me, go on. Let's see, what else did I watch that I was super on board with? Let's see here. I watched. So I didn't want to get hurt, so I put all my points into defense. I like that one. It was weird, but Maple's weird, so it worked out perfectly. Invaded. Invaded was a weird one that I don't know if I want to say it was good or bad, but it was definitely interesting. Invaded was the one where basically it's super high tech, and basically when murders are happening, murderers leave these like killing particles that a fucking machine can pick up, and then they can plug it into another machine, and then you can make a secret world of that murderer's subconsciousness and use like the facts inside of it to like figure out who the identity was and arrest them. Like I said, it was like some Minority Report kind of shit, and I liked it. The characters were weird and interesting, and the story was weird and interesting. It got into some weird psionic ability bullshit crap at the end, but I was like, no, I enjoyed this time. Let's see here. What else did I watch? I can't recall off the top of my head. Like, I watch a lot of things, and unfortunately, as I said, Lucky has a horrible memory, so I actually have to see the list of things I watch to be like, oh yeah, this! Oh, that reminds me, I do need to finish Blade of the Immortal on Amazon. I always forget that Amazon does weekly anime too. It's one of those weird things, because I'm sorry, it's like I still have to come to grips that, oh yeah, Psycho-Pass Season 3 was on Amazon. Fuck. I haven't watched that either. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to write that down. I actually have to write down notes. It's like, Lucky, go watch this on this. Mm-hmm. I will. But, there are some movies coming out. I actually pull up a list here real quick.
Sorry, I'm being quiet because I'm fighting Yahoo right now. Because I keep getting alerts that some asshole in Vietnam is trying to sign in my email. They don't get in because they don't get the verification code because obviously it's there. But I'm like trying to double check all my backwards and shit. But is there a Chrome setting I can tell Chrome to fuck off with passwords for 5 seconds? Because apparently Yahoo's website is shittily designed and Chrome senses verification codes as passwords. And then it immediately blows all my sending attempts. And I'm just like, all right, you're killing me, Smalls. I'm trying to update my security settings and I can't because you're doing the weird shit.
Fuck. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm not blaming you
about stuff.
Yeah, I know. The movies. I was looking at the movies. Fuck. All right. So apparently, sometime this spring, we're supposed to be getting the 4th Eva rebuild. I'm fucking hyped for that. We're supposed to be giving the Violent Evergarden movie. Super excited about that. Of course, as if you follow us at all, we get for the fact that Heaven's Feel Spring Song's coming out.
It has been delayed.
It has been delayed. So those are the big 3 movies I'm excited about. There's also a couple things. Princess Principal is supposed to have like a 6-part film. Psycho-Pass is getting another film. I don't know if there's anything else particularly I want. I do know that like within a month, the Netflix Ghost in the Shell standalone complex 2045 will be hitting.
Definitely looking for that.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, I think it's it. Yeah, that's the anime.
Yay, anime.
I still love it. But as much as I love anime, I have been trying to move away and watch more real things. And the thing that's at the top of my list right now is actually Altered Carbon. And I find this absolutely hilarious. But as I go into
I'm having this problem. Like Google is autofilling everything, and then I can't fucking change it. I need you to stop, Google. Stop it. Not everything is a password field. I literally can't search my passwords because it's trying to auto-type a password. Why are you like this?
I think there should be a way of settings to turn off autofill.
Yeah, I have it.
Settings.
I have it
settings.
turned auto sign in right now, but it's not sticking. Do I have to like get out of here? Why are you being like this?
But so at the top of my list is Altered Carbon, which I found hilarious because as I opened up Netflix to start Altered Carbon, it tells me, hey, there's a CG Altered Carbon film, and it's totally anime. I was like, you did this on fucking purpose. You added anime to it so it catch my interest, because Lucky is a man who likes to take in all the aspects of a series. So I can't watch the Altered Carbon movie until I watch the 2 seasons that are out right now, since they came first. And I said I started. I'm only still on episode 1 of the first season, but I love it. I said in our chat, I wish I sass as naturally as Kovacs can. Just like, God will judge you for your sins. Well, he's gonna be there for a long time then. I'm just all like, yep. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
he's
great.
sassy. I haven't watched it's on my list of things. I haven't watched the second season yet. But I'm hopeful that because hey, they can change the actor for Takeshi because he's literally different bodies. So they did that. They're gonna change him for the seasons because it's a different story arc. So I'm very curious to see if the new actor is it. I think it's the same guy who does Falcon. I'm hoping he can continue to be Sassy Kovacs. Just give me the sass, because man, Takeshi is a sassy boy with good reason. But
also, real talk. I don't know if he ever shows up again, but the fucking AI at the fucking hotel, the
Poe, everybody loves Poe.
Oh, excellent.
I think they said he's got stuff in the second season. I don't know. I don't remember. He is a recurring character, at least in the first season, though.
Okay, that's good.
Because he's so great. He's the best.
Love
And I believe Poe is a drift from the book, because obviously this is a book. BT Dubs, Altered Carbon is a book series.
Yeah.
The first book is called Altered Carbon. I believe that's the hotel as a different AI character in the book, who isn't as cool, naturally.
But, yeah, so far, as I said, Lucky has a hard time watching things that has not empowered myself to watch so much anime. It's hard for me to watch other things. I've been working on this by, going to movies and seeing not anime things, but as I said, because there's a lot of shows I want to watch. There's, I said, Alter Carbon's one of them, Black Mirror is another one, Westworld. I want, because I love fantasy and sci-fi. I really do. I love it in all forms. It's just I've been so much oversaturated with anime. It's hard for me to get out of that fucking reservoir of anime. But I'm getting there, step by step, bit by bit. It's like how I watched Good Omens a little while back. It was like just literally have to sit down, watch it, and die laughing.
Great series.
It was very good. I've never read the original book, but I feel like
Neil Gaiman was heavily involved with the TV adaptation.
Oh, okay,
and
cool.
It's a really good one. It keeps, I think, most of the good core content, actually expands in a few places and still feels very appropriate. It's really good.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it was between Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, if I remember correctly, right? Yeah.
And unfortunately, Terry Pratchett has passed on, so it's just Gaiman left. But he was there.
Yeah, that's good. So because I still need to watch The Witcher. That's on my list of things to watch.
I have watched a couple of episodes, and I am not super into it, so I don't know if I'll go back to it.
I'll try.
That's fair. I gave it the old college try, true. So. Yeah.
As I said, I doubt I'll become one of the, I'll be cinemaphile, some people who just watch fucking everything, but, as I said, there's a lot of media out there, and I want to give everything a shake, if I can. But, let's see here. So I talked about real TV I was watching. I talked about anime that I have watched and plan to watch. Gacha games are over and done with. We talked video game.
Yeah, there's maybe there's some more video game stuff we could talk about, but not right now.
Do we want to talk about tabletop stuff at all? You did?
We could mention a couple things. Let's see. I pushed out a new L5R review because that PDF came out and I read all of it.
Zoom.
So if you are interested in that sort of stuff, watch out that video. As I said, I do have an episode of AP in the backlog I need to work on, but we produced quite a few, so.
Honestly, I might try and shenanigans everyone into next Wednesday again after Sunday, because...
We'll see, because I'll need time to actually write the next session is the thing. The only reason why we were able to quite do it so frequently is because this particular session arc is taking 3 sessions total.
Yeah, I'm laughing a little bit because you were, I don't know if that was your intent, but you were kind of giving us shit for us thinking the offshore club was a bigger deal than it was.
Well, yeah, you treated it as a more complex problem than both my notes and at least I thought my responses to inquiries on it were. You were like, "Oh shit, it's a club. Clearly, this must be a big site where there's big scary thing." And I was just like, "No, it's just a."
Well, my original thought is if this is where all the high rollers,
maybe you guys overestimated what a high roller is. I said they had an exclusive clientele and they were trying to be a super elite, but to Sohel live super elite is probably not that elite.
Yeah, you see that's where my disconnect was because I heard super elite and I was like, oh shit, super elite, and I'm thinking Coruscant level super elite bullshit, and I'm like, then I forgot temporarily that we're on a fucking mud ball, and I was like, oh wait. But still, you gave us some sass about that, and I was just like,
well, it's true because you guys really beat around the bush on that one, and I was like, that's because I'm looking at my notes and I'm going, wow, this is you're straying a little far from the mark, guys. Like there's not a lot of extra detail here, so obviously that means from a GM standpoint, I'm not thinking of it as a serious challenge, and sometimes it's hard to telegraph that to players to be like, no, dude, just calm down, it's fine, just do something.
Yeah, like.
And I think I might have actually suggested at first the more elegant solution of just, well, you do know the local cops. You could just tell them you know where it is and you have proof that there's bad stuff there and they can take care of it. And then you don't have to worry about it.
Well, like, here's the thing. Probably here in more areas, it is a big deal, but in the actual grand scheme of, like, the scale of the galaxy and the universe and, civilization, it's not.
It also depends on who you're talking to. To the locals, like some of the gangs even you talk to, or to many local citizens, the offshore club is kind of a big deal. That's the place you go to get off-world stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also to do human trafficking.
So that's why I was like, the scale, like the scale of what it was and what I was expecting
compared to the other places you may go, because you have another lead, it is a very small chain in the operation, though.
Yeah. So that's why I said we're to expedite the sensors. We're just literally bringing in all the boys. We're strapping up, and we're just going to hit it in the fucking rate to get it over and done with. Because last session, the Wednesday session, was fairly interesting.
Long, but it was pretty good. Hold on, let me actually crack open my yonder file box and see how long it is. Because I need to. I'll get around to tonight, assuming this video and audio doesn't take me forever to do. I will get around to setting it up overnight. So that would be session 11, which is actually Live and Let Die. Because I decided we could use that title.
Yay.
Because you fought drug zombies and a spooky skeleton robot. Who seemed popular.
Yeah.
Possibly because he's talked kind of down here like this, but then he got really hammy when he went evil. Let's see. Yeah, so that the final audio edit of 11 is 3 hours, 36 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
We went for, I think, about 4 hours unedited audio, but obviously that includes all the many, many pauses, all the waiting for rolling, all of the occasional breaks. So there was probably 20 to 30 minutes of hubbub there that just snips out.
Ooh, I found
it's amazing how stuff adds up.
Yeah. We try to stay on point, but sometimes we just get caught up in doing wrestling moves on drug zombies.
Well, you didn't want to just lightsaber them. That became a moral quandary, so we decided we had to punch them, and just punching things is boring. So we adapted it to wrestling. Well, actually, we should clarify this. Lucky, were you yelling at Axe for just ending the boss in a single stroke, or was it more the fact that he was like, I did a good thing for you?
Yeah, you're welcome, Lucky. That's what I was yelling him for about.
Especially, yeah. Well, I mean, you did get acided up a little, but still. Well, we've talked to you about the Sekiro thing, Axe. That's the thing you should think about maybe a little bit more when you jump into it. I know you've talked about, how your thought process works, but the desire to be helpful, should not outweigh your being polite or necessarily. I think I said this when talking about guides and stuff. It's kind of your reach should not exceed your grasp kind of thing, This is why I think we can say that while some people I know in the community do not like Axe, we're actually okay with Axe, and we definitely tolerate him to a high level. He's fun. Whoa, Robin. You're talking about Axe hating Sekiro. You're gonna have a fun time with the first half of this episode if you've only just showed up now.
Yeah.
But
Red beginning.
I think Axe thinks Sekiro is cool, but he hasn't actually played it.
Yeah.
He's just mostly watched other people play it, which can be a legit way to enjoy a video game. After all, we do Let's Plays and streams too. But no, I was just saying that we appreciate that Axe actually wants to be helpful. He is trying to contribute. That's cool. That's actually a really good thing. Not enough. Honestly, there are a lot of people who could use a dose of trying to be helpful. The classic helping and hurting. But there are times, we've talked about this, where Axe's desire to help outstrips his own knowledge and his own inputs, and then it's just like, okay, calm down, you're being a little annoying. Nobody needs help that badly. We're not dying. You know, like, if I was in a burning building, great, sure. Pull out all the stops. We're having a conversation about Sekiro. I was actually like, okay, wait, hold on. Before this conversation goes any deeper, have you played Sekiro, Axe? And I was thinking about maybe going even a step further about that, but you were like, even when you were like, I acknowledged it, whoa, Robin, you should not, because we have literally had this discussion in the video already. We're talking to somebody in the community who's coming late to a listen. Wait until the audio comes out and then come back with your comments, because you've missed the literal hour Lucky spent talking about Sekiro. That was the first thing we did. But yeah, I was basically thinking about maybe going a little more on blast, but like, it was like, no, it's okay. I understand. As long, he's not advocating like that there's only one way to beat it and I'm not doing it. He's just trying to figure out my problem and talk me through it. And I'm like, okay, sure, that works. That works, Lucky. If you're okay with it.
Lucky tries to be fair. I don't know, I try to be loud, but I am a fan of the tough but fair approach.
Mm-hmm.
But
I do that sometimes too. Yeah. And honestly, like I said, I try to be empathetic and understanding, right? I try to see where people are coming from. Sometimes when you have conversations with people about their problems and they still do them, this is not just an Axe thing. We have a large community. Sometimes we need to sit and have conversations with people.
Yeah.
It can get a little annoying even after you've had the real talk, right? Mm-hmm. The proverbial or possibly literal come to Jesus. To be like, okay, do we have to reiterate this? We've already had this conversation. I have that problem in real life, though. Like, I was actually bad at certain classes in school because the way public education tries to teach you something, is they try to ram it down your throat over and over again until you can do it without any conscious thought. And that is certainly an approach to do certain skills. Like, if they were teaching me how to draw a sword, sure. I want to be able to do that from muscle memory. I don't know. Those people don't understand you, Axe, if they say you're being dickish on impulse for fun. When you do things that are dickish, you almost entirely do not mean to do them. Which is, again, one of the reasons why I say I'm okay with you, because I actually understand you probably don't mean to be as vicious as you are sometimes. Though, we do occasionally have to call you out when you throw out a hot take, and we gotta be like, whoa, calm down. But no, I was talking about rote memorization. Some stuff that works for. Like I said, drawing a sword, you should memorize how to do that. Reciting the alphabet, that's probably serviceable. You should be able to do that by heart. And I do it all the time. Whenever I'm like, how am I alphabetizing? A, B, C, I still count on my fingers too, just because that's easier. More complex shit? No, don't. Like, okay, I was, like, I don't think I've even fully memorized my multiplication tables, because I don't like that, I don't like them just saying, just memorize it, just do it again. I can remember many common low-level multiplications just because, as a human, I understand the basic rules of multiplication, and I can do some of those pretty fast. Other times it takes me a second. So, like, I as a person, do not always like the just do it and figure it out. Just do it this way. That doesn't help me. It's like we talked about Arknights earlier. Like, yeah, I'll watch guides for Arknights. I usually don't literally do what the guide says, though. And honestly, the best Arknights guides are like, though again, I've talked about this, there's this really weird obsession with low stars in Arknights. Is it because high stars are so expensive? I don't know. The game's pity system is really good. But yeah, like, I don't memorize a guide and follow it exactly. I look at a guide and I see, oh, okay, I can put this unit here, or I can put that unit there, and that helps me figure out my own way of approaching the problem. Well, in FGO, low star units aren't garbage. Although you were saying that the community is, you're saying actually there's a community overlap, so that people who are coming into Arknights are like, hey, look at all my Mimi low star clears. You can use coup to clear anything. Sorry, I paused for a second because you're being quiet a lot. I'm just like, is Lucky alive or not? Because, big knock on wood, you have not noticeably ghosted this conversation.
Nope. Well, as I said, like, you haven't really said anything that I disagree with, so right. I'm just letting you go.
Yeah, nodding in agreement. But yeah, that's how I prefer to do things. Is like, on the one hand, I can do something completely as you want it if you tell me how to do it. I will maybe not enjoy that process, but I can do it if taught exactly what you want, or tell me what you want and let me figure it out. I don't like a halfway in between or like an insistence that it has to be done this way. It just gets bothersome. It's like the old show your work problem.
Yeah, I hated that as a kid. So,
but the tabletop thing was technically what we were talking about.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I said, so we got sassed out a little bit. We had a lot of fun though. The social encounter was interesting, but it definitely made me want to, like, I should probably lean into getting my social abilities.
It's an interesting style. I think it works pretty well, but it was definitely, the social encounter system was definitely like a little, speaking of like no instructions mode, it was a little too no instructions, because it was like, you guys can do anything. And then two of the players immediately fucked off to play cards with minions because they were like, that's how we can do stuff. We can just play cards with people, and that'll get rid of them so they're no longer contributing to this conversation. Okay, sure.
Yeah, that works for both
literally
sides,
whatever works. Meanwhile, we kind of had just like, there was a like, well, I don't want this literally just be me and Arma roll dice back and forth, but ultimately it kind of had to be, because you were the face and he was the target. So I still like some of the expanded social encounter rules, and it's a decent function. It's just, man, and that guy put up a decent fight for being a rival with literally no social skills, except I think cool.
Yeah, but yeah,
it worked out though.
Yeah, so but because it took a while, I was just all like, Lopak, can you do that for these guys? And Lopak was like, Lopak will do this. He knows people. And I was like, thank you, Lopak. I fucking love Lopak.
Yep. Listen, you guys like character voices.
We do.
And that was a funny thing, because that was, you guys were in middle of your semi-panic about the offshore club, and we're like, we need to do legwork. Actually, wait, no, that might have been, we were going to do legwork about the girl, because it was like, we need to verify that the girl is in the place so that we know if we want to go busting in or not. Because we're scared.
We were a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
But then it was just like, you want to spend some, I think it was Axe making a streetwise roll. I don't think he got enough success to do anything, but it was like, do you want to spend some of that advantage to meet a friendly face who can maybe solve some problems? And then it was like, boom, surprise Lopak in a streetlight. He's here to help.
Love it so much. Friends of Lopak, secret Lopak. I know the secret Lopak handshake. It's great.
Well, yeah, that was the second character who appeared, who I was wondering.
Runner.
Yeah, Runner, who I was trying to work in, because I designed her as a friendly point because you guys like Lopak, and it was like, well, she just showed up in a different thing to guide you to a place. And I knew I had to sneak it in and just be like, psst, Lopak sends his regards. Does the secret handshake. And you immediately knew you could trust that character to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't necessarily like big gotcha moments or anything in like, there's a couple of times when I can, do the evil smile, but I like gradual reveal. So that's something I can say is like, unless you do something to Lopak, he probably will not just betray you outright. That's not how I've characterized him, and that's not his business style. Lopak is an info broker in the game, and so he succeeds by buying and selling information, whether that's literally buying and selling or just trading for favors, because he's got a lot of connections. Now,
well, that's why I like when Lopak shows up whenever something that he might find interesting.
Right. Yeah. Which is good, because he's predatorly disposed, because you basically, you settle your account, basically. And because you are one of his good friends, there's no reason for him to just sell you out, right? Like, you don't need to worry about that. Yes, he's technically an info broker, and sure, he might trade information about you back to people, but also he might trade information on those people asking questions about you back to you. You don't know. I don't mind setting up friendly NPCs to actually be friendly. Like, there's no need to, like I said before, be dickish about anything. I have antagonists for that. I'm sure we'll get back to military stuff one of these weeks, and we can do quirky mini-boss squad. That you guys can feel okay about, because you don't like them. All right, I have got
I do that. Like, I do need to learn how to be more of a dick, though. Somehow, I don't know how.
It's wiggly. We have a real concern that you want your character to be more conflicted and possibly more neutral, but I've talked about this. The conflict system is really geared more to desperate survival, where the authority figures are against you.
Yeah.
This game, it's in a Clone Wars game, it's much more mixed about where your risk lies. So, without throwing you into like a complete war, like you are literally invading this planet, there is no safety, there is no shelter. What will you do to survive? Which is not the tone I set for this game.
No.
I do want to talk about how war is shitty, but I did not necessarily want to make it a complete survival shitball, because then why are we playing Clone Wars, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's none of the cool trappings. So it's... Now, some of that is because you didn't have enough force powers to roll originally. Like, as you get into it, the opportunity for you to literally get frustrated out of character and spend more conflict pips grows.
Yeah.
Because you have totally done that. You have totally gotten a roll, and your force dice only show dark side pips, and you're like, well, I guess I'll do the thing. I'll take the strain, whatever. But it's hard to be like, oh, you could do something. You could lie for selfish gain.
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that? I mean, unless you have an opportunity to lie to your enemies, but even then, your enemies are assholes too. So
yeah,
there have been a couple opportunities where I have dinged you for conflict, and I have definitely left it open where it would be like, if you did this, it would be conflict. But well,
sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't. But usually...
yes, because we should say you want to try and be a little. You want to be a little bit more edgy, but also Arama's more like, well, you know, she's more of a shell-shocked veteran type character. Like, she has bad reactions to certain stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
But as we discussed, your new emotional strength and weakness is compassion, sorrow. So, like, she's fundamentally a nice person. It's just the limits of her niceness can be pushed because she's had some bad experiences.
Yeah. And sometimes that, like, no, I won't say this is any fault on you, Omega, but it's hard to get like those necessarily situations in.
Yeah, and it depends, and some of it is about the antagonist. Like, trust me, I've got some opportunities. I am totally going to continue to bring back your ambiguous, shitty backstory and keep doing that trick.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that too.
Because I want those opportunities for you to weigh the whole. I could just throw you in space prison, but I really want to stab you because I don't like you. Like. I want to bring those kinds of conflicts in because those totally count, you know, as like, those work on the conflict scale and can be pretty big.
It's like Arozma's like, reacting towards the fucking gangs. She thought they were, you know, bad people, but they weren't so bad that they couldn't be reformed. But because Arma thought they could be reformed, that's the way she went.
However, as we get into our dark side drug cult, that might also be another thing where you have to weigh your decision. Wow, are the people in charge of this operation so shitty and useless that I'm okay with just, you know, bumping a few of them off? Or are you able to actually play the Jedi game and be like, hey, therapy exists, guys. You don't have to be evil narco-terrorists. And then if they try and stab you still, you can go like, well, self-defense.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like...
And I think also, the advantage of weird... drug trippy stuff that we have not even begun to get into is like,
oh no,
there's definitely some opportunities for some weird shit to happen.
Oh man, are we gonna have a drug trip scene? That'd be awesome.
Well, yeah, I am definitely trying to work on some weird, you know, narcotics stuff because one, a lot of those scenes in like video games and TV and stuff are really interesting, but also that can really play to your characters like self-control and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I learned I did learn I need to make more fear checks because that is another major way that you guys can gain conflict is by failing a fear check. I think Kavis took like 2 because he completely whiffed a fear check. So that's a thing where I need to keep that in mind. And it's a pretty simple system of like when you guys got surprised by drug zombies, it was like, holy shit, you're being mobbed by a bunch of guys who are literally crazy. I'm not going to overdo it. You don't even have conflict, Axe. What are you talking about? You don't have a morality bar. You're fine. You can shoot guys all day long.
See, Axe, this is what we mean. You're trying to be helpful here, but you're talking to someone who's been running this game, knows the system for years, has been making games for years. I'm pretty sure he has a way more idea of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Than you.
So it's like, yeah, no, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be, you know, neither pumpkin eater about the morality system. It's not meant to be that way. Like, if you can actually, and this I like I like this about the morality system, and I feel this way about morality in general, you should be able to take the high road. Like, to bring it back to L5R, for instance, this is a disclaimer, I will repeat when I actually run this campaign, but I have written my campaign that is still in the works with the intent that you can play it completely straight and honorable. It's probably going to suck at points. Being a good, honorable person, whether that's, going by the Jedi Code or Bushido or whatever, that should be hard work. You should feel rewarded when you actually go through it. Because the whole point of the other side is that you can just be like, but what if I just stabbed him in the back, though? What if I just pushed him off a cliff? That's not honorable. That's very dishonorable, in fact. But it would solve my problem easier. Or I could risk my life and limb to make sure I shout out, hey you, I challenge you. Draw your sword, kind of thing. Rather than just gank a guy who doesn't have his sword drawn, And I feel the same way about morality. And Lucky likes to joke about being evil. And under certain definitions, I'm sure he has probably been the evils in his life. Who knows? Yeah. I've done a few shitty things in my life, too. But at least in role-playing, usually your characters very much are not necessarily, you have never played a stupid evil character, as far as I've seen you. At no point have you been yeah, I'm gonna eat this baby.
Well, no, I've always played pragmatic evil.
Yes, whenever you have been anything, because we played a Rebels game once where you were probably overpowered, but you were playing a local farm kid, and we definitely touched on some of the morality of the whole guerrilla warfare thing there. Yeah. At least I remember once, well, not only did you conduct a lot of IED attacks, because I introduced the player characters to the explosive rules in our first major campaign, so they love them, so that happens a lot. I'm really shocked that you guys haven't blown more shit up. Maybe that's just because Axe is the only one with mechanics. Proton bombs, kids. They're great. Yep. So not only did you do a lot of that shit, which some people in our country may be like, whoa, that's kind of shitty of you, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But also there was a very powerful scene that set up that campaign where you literally rode down a fleeing stormtrooper on a bike, drove up next to him, and plugged him in the neck with your shotgun.
No survivors.
There are a couple of explosive, primed explosives that are in the Clone Wars book. Double check them. I don't remember what it's called.
Max, I always use proton bombs because they're easy to get, easy to carry, and their damage was exponential.
Yes, proton bombs are really good because they stack in a really interesting way. Those are the kind of charges you see in the end of Return of the Jedi, but they've been around for a long time. They're meant to be a civilian spec demolition explosive, but if you get a big sack full of them, you can slap them on things and shape them, double them up, and they're really, really effective. So Taket loved them because he was a genius at mechanics, and also you could set your output as needed.
Yeah, but playing as Taket, as I said, that was a Rebels game, so it was, small against big, so sometimes you need to make questionable decisions. But Taket usually, even like I said, I play pragmatically evil because we've gotten into discussion a couple times on what's up of what good versus evil is, and usually that's a matter of perspective. But as someone who was basically going up the authority, depending on the side I was the bad guy. But just because you're the bad guy doesn't mean. Let me put it this way: there's a lot of rules I've seen on my side. It's if you how do I put this? If you knock out somebody, yeah, that person might come back pissed, but usually it would just be that person. If you kill somebody, yeah, you've removed that injury, but now maybe their child is pissed off at you, maybe their family is pissed off at them, maybe their employee is pissed off at you.
That's another popular topic on What's Up, the cycle of revenge in storytelling.
Yeah, so...
Because I joked about that was actually that was my definition of revenge camp, where they teach you about revenge, including the thing about digging 2 graves. Because that is a proverb. A man who seeks revenge should dig 2 graves. Mm-hmm. One is for them and one is for you.
Yeah. But, so, whenever I play a bad character, I never play, it's let's just blow things up for kicks. If I have to kill someone, it's for a reason, or it's because there can be no survivors. Collateral damage is usually tried to kept on target, but if a little spills over, oh well.
Well, and I don't even remember that character's name, but also, again, that was role-playing. You were a member of the local oppressed populace, and, there were Imperials causing trouble in your neighborhood, so you were like, get the fuck off my planet, dude. Nerd dude.
Mm-hmm. And I would, Taket is willing to do that by, I wouldn't say any means necessary, but he would definitely feel that the ends justify the means. Now, that is a loaded statement in itself, but like I said, to some degree, I, Lucky, do believe that, because in all my character, there is a facet of Lucky and how he thinks. And one of, Lucky's, core tenets is, in order to accomplish your goals, you should not cause undue suffering, but there are exceptions to that. And this is one of the reasons why I like to say that I'm evil, is because if push comes to shove, I know that I could do some pretty messed up things, to take care of things. But just because I can doesn't mean I will. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I like being forced characters, is because I have to bring that scale into the game and be like, I could do this, but should I do this?
And I always like to be, well, one, because most of these games are written to tell you don't be a dickhead and be like, haha, you take conflict now. And be like, hey, dude, you know that if you fucking murder this guy, you're going to take some conflict.
And sometimes you have to be like...
And L5R, by the way, is the same. It recommends with honor and glory loss. I should and would let the players know, hey, are you sure you really just want to stab this guy? You're going to lose honor, because that's not what Bushido says you should do. In which case, you'll be like, yes, or, nah, okay, I'll yell at him first so he knows it's coming. And the game actually says that. Like, it says, hey, if you're just going to fucking take out a bunch of mooks who don't matter, just roll a skill check rather than do a whole fight, you know? Like, if you were going to methodically eliminate all the guards around a castle, that would probably just be a skill check rather than literally go through the whole conflict system.
Oh, by the way, I finally did this. It took me a while, but I finally decided what my XP expenditure was. I'm getting more social skills, and I'm able to force punch people.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Because that was another thing we did, was I followed the guidelines for mentors and statted out your master.
Yep. Lago, who has fucked off to do space.
Yes, because we decided, because he has the positives and negatives. So his style is kind of what we call cryptic, which fits the group very well. He offers questions, he asks things, he gives you open-ended lessons, and then you need to figure it out for yourself, because otherwise you're gonna fucking die. Which is while he will do negative reinforcement, like he has had some talks with Cavis about, hey, dude, don't. It's kind of his version of the conversation he actually had with you in character a couple of sessions ago, which was like, hey, so I understand you don't want people to die, but if you're trying to protect those people, if you also get murdered, those people will die too. So look out for yourself some. Using an analogy to kind of be like, you need to find a healthy balance in your life. He's also had that conversation with Cavis to be like, so Cavis, not when you jump into danger, not only do you endanger yourself, you also endanger those people behind you. So think before you act. But he, that's kind of his style. His drawback is that he's very busy with war things a lot of the time, so he cannot be accessed at all times, which is good because he has a fuck ton of skills. He's like lightsaber 4, force rating 4. But the template I used for him actually worked out really well, because in addition to the skills he has, it also picked certain force powers, which were a little bit of move, which is Cavis's big thing, and a little bit of enhance, though I put all his upgrades into piloting because he didn't get any pilot skills by default. So it makes sense. It works out. But enhance is another thing you do, and he's got a little bit of battle meditation and sense, which are some other things you do. And you kind of have taken influence, though, as your own whatever may do. Ooh, I think I'm starting to feel a hunger. Alright, well, I think, if we don't have anything else to talk about tabletop stuff, I feel like I could probably use some food, so maybe we can wrap up.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright.
Oh, we didn't talk about, we really didn't talk about, yeah, we can talk about it. Man, I guess we mentioned it. I was gonna say about, never mind, just end it.
Well, actually, speaking of that, I should acknowledge something. In the comments, somebody did bring up the idea of Omega badly explains 40k factions to Lucky. I didn't prep for that because there'd been a shorter delay between when we recorded this episode and when it actually, when we're recording this episode and when the last one came out, so I didn't have some time. But if Lucky is okay doing that, I can take some notes for next time, and we can definitely do that episode in the future. All right. So I will keep that in mind. All right, that's everything then, as I realize I'm out of bottled water and I'm really dry and thirsty. So, let's wrap this up before I turn to dust and blow away. Hey, if you watch this episode on YouTube, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. If you have any comments, leave in the comment section down below. You can also hit up our Discord. That link is in the description. And on our channel page as always.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can always get our latest videos. And even if you're already subscribed, considering that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video or when we stream. Especially considering we may be having trouble archiving streams, you know. And, make sure also to consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early. You can get the audio format downloadable for as little as $1 a month. And it helps drive this whole thing forward. And it's just really cool of you. You get a lot of cool stuff, and it's cool. It's a cool experience all around. All right. That's basically going to be what's up for this week. I need to go drink an entire bottle of water and get some dinner.
Lucky's probably going to go drink a bottle of water and get some tacos!
But is it? Well, no, it's Saturday, so it's not Taco Friday.